Show.
We're live.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 412 of Fans of Power. I'm Joe Amato, and I'm here with my partners in crime, Nasty Nate Nathan Kennedy, Rebecca McDonald, a.k.a. Newt, the Trash Man, Ren McKenzie, and the Dr. Dushin Mitrovich. And
you
I guess
pointed in all the wrong directions.
Fuck, I did it again, but that's all right. And, well, I guess if you're here, you're not watching the Super Bowl, or if you're watching the Super Bowl, you're doing some dual things, but watch us instead. Otherwise, you're just going to be watching a bunch of Super Bowl ads and commercials. So who cares? Oh, there you go, Jaime. I guess he's watching the Super Bowl. So how's everybody doing? Wait, let's see.
Yeah.
Having fun. That's good. Enjoy it. I hope you're having a great time. Be safe. You know, it is.
Who's doing the halftime show this year?
I have no clue. I wasn't watching the Super Bowl this year, so I don't know. I'm lost. But anybody enjoying it? That's great. And all the commercials I know will be YouTubed here soon, so I'll just catch the Super Bowl commercials if there's anything worth. Exactly.
So far, they've been terrible.
I'm not a sports person. So.
My son made me watch some of them.
Yeah, what have been some of the sucktastic commercials?
There was something with a bear. There was something with a like some beer. And
you gotta have the beer.
Tom Cruise had a commercial.
Okay.
Snoop Dogg was in a commercial.
Okay.
With I think a football player.
Okay.
And there's like a couple of car commercials. They were bad.
I was gonna say you sound over the moon unenthusiastic, like they were all crap. So, all right.
Yeah. I hate football, man.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I watched it as a kid in the '90s. I enjoyed watching it, but now so much. I think hockey's the way to go.
Rebecca, you're a big football fan, right?
Yeah, she's a big sports fan.
Yeah, I'm a sports fan.
She liked all the sports balls. Yeah, I like all the sports balls games. See, it's fun. And Dushin's like, what? What sports? He isn't.
Yeah,
foosballs.
They don't have sports where Dushin's at.
Yeah.
No, we have a real football.
Oh, you do? You have real football? Okay.
You actually play it with your foot. You kick the ball. Hence the name.
Boy, I'd love to kick you right in the balls one day. That'd be fucking fantastic.
Yes.
Fly out
Zentron,
here.
yes. Hockey is much better. But Joe, I want to let's deal with this, man.
What the hell?
What are you doing? What the hell is that?
Hey, Joe, what the hell?
We want to know. What the hell is that?
When's the album dropping, Joe?
Idiot, put that away. I mean, put them away.
MCs.
What's happening? Look at that.
After the last show, he went all like, "Oh, is it hot in here?"
Why are you? What's with the pose? Why are you posing?
I don't even remember. That was like I think I was hitting my head and getting ready to open the door to show you the vehicle in the garage.
You were trying to figure out how to turn it off, so you stepped away from it. And
I was doing. Yeah, I did something. I have no goddamn clue, but I cleaned the bird shit off of my car because it's been cold lately.
Yeah.
And I did. So I used fuck it.
How come you're cleaning bird shit off your car every week?
No, I never cleaned it from the last time because it's been so goddamn cold here. I haven't been able to go to a car wash. But I was like, well, let me just get a rag real quick. And I took care of that last week right after the show. I cleaned all that shit off there free. And otherwise, it'd been like $3. All right, we got Will Tip. Will Timpson's in the chat. Zentron, Mick DJ, Fedmon, Rebel Wookie, Adam Gabbard, Jaime Mara, Sean Darren, Crumbs Mountain, Papa Hud 69, Brian Brummagem. I'm still scrolling. I was almost ready to say Dipshit's name, who's sitting there eating his fucking pie and ice cream. And Caballero's here, and I think I got everybody. If I missed anybody, I apologize. So there. Yeah. So
I
that's
did.
it.
You're missing somebody.
JSP not here yet.
JSP ain't there.
Yeah, JSP not here. We have to bring
Ren
this up.
McKenzie's in there.
Um,
He's in
what
there.
did
You
you
didn't
say?
say his name.
yeah.
Okay, what'd you say there, Nathan?
I just, I want to make
Okay.
sure that we put this out there for everyone that Fedmon says that they got this anal a few years ago, and I remember it being pretty good.
What the hell?
Jesus
just-
Christ! Well, all right, Fedmon, whatever you
You're
do, whatever
okay.
you're rocking.
You're a
man.
wild fella.
Jesus Christ! All right, well that turned into
What a
fucking
way to
fun.
start the
everybody.
show.
He's got whatever. Yeah. So I don't even know what to say from there,
Keep that
but
to yourself, buddy.
Well, Joe
Yeah.
was probably going to be like, "Well, what's new? I saw this on Big Bad. It's up for
yeah, so-
pre-order."
yeah, those are up. I'll get them.
Okay.
A lot of people were like, "What the hell's going on with Skeletor?" So I'd explain about from.
Well, go ahead and
Cartoon.
explain what is going on with Skeletor.
Yeah, what the fuck
Yeah,
is that?
remember when he was invisible?
Everything is
and
wrong
they
with Skeletor.
I know. Well, I know. A little weird, the face and expression. He was invisible, and of course, then they took off Orko's robe, or he took it off, put it on, boom, found Skeletor, took off the magic cat, whatever. Yeah, it's great. But Frosta, she looks nice, and Buzz Off would be cool. But that Skeletor is just a quick.
I like the translucent plastic. I think that's fun, but that's about it.
I want
What were you
that
gonna
shawl
say?
thing. I want that piece, but I don't want the rest.
What do you want that?
So
shawl
if anybody
thing
gets
for?
it and they want to send me that shawl piece, that'll
How
be
about
cool.
you pay for it, you some bitch? And what do you want it for, anyways? Why would you want that?
That's rich coming from Joe, considering how much free shit he
I
gets and how
never-
little money he spends on literally everything else.
I don't ask for anything. But real quick, Ren, what do you want that shawl for?
Why the fuck are you worried about it?
He's not gonna
because
get.
I'm
He's
asking, let
trying
me
to get
know.
ideas for custom.
I
Could turn it
Let him.
into a poncho.
I
Don't
can
let
make
us say
it
your
into a pretty cool custom, I think.
What
It'll
custom could
go.
you use besides where it was from? It was from that episode. What the hell could you do and use that for? For what?
I would take the paint off of the damn O, maybe
Uh-huh.
sand it down so you won't see it, and use it for something else. Like it
Oh
looks
my
cool,
God.
but that thing doesn't. So it might look cool on another character or something.
God
But
damn
I've
it,
got all
man.
these heads that
Yeah.
I need to make custom bodies for, and that would look cool on
I
something.
mean, that's
That's
cool that Ren's
fantastic.
over there kit bashing things and creating stuff.
Thank you.
Brian Brummagem did put in the chat too, for those of
Yes.
you wanting the Mondo stuff.
Yeah.
The land drops on Tuesday. So
That was
Yeah,
gorgeous.
she looks great. She looks great. And
I
Rebecca,
love
what
the
were you going to
face
say
that they
about?
gave her.
Yeah, it is a great face. Were you going to say something about Frosta? Or were you going to say something about her? I thought you were
Oh,
going
I
to say
think
something
she
about that.
looks
Frosta.
like Drew Barrymore as Frosta.
Drew Barrymore is Frosta.
Yeah,
I
Damn.
didn't
Looks
think
like
about
Yeah.
that.
Barrymore.
Well, now I don't want her.
Oh, shit. Jesus Christ. Do you have pictures of that
I like
Evelyn?
Barrymore. She's fine.
let's see. Maybe we probably just go to let's do this. We will share a Chrome tab and just kind of look at this together, I suppose.
I
Yeah,
love
she
her
looks
face.
great. Yeah.
Can't really
Yeah,
zoom
she's
in on it.
gorgeous.
Well, I guess, yeah. Oh, it looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zoom in a little bit.
She should sell pretty well. I'm assuming she'll sell really well.
Yeah, it can be yours for only
Saving
$650.
Yeah.
No, it's not that much. But no, if you got that money, get it. And coming with Screech, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, you get a nice
Screech
Screech with her
costs
too.
extra.
Shut up.
She's got the shipping
So,
staff there with her, and
Yeah, there's the
God.
shipping stuff right there.
Jeez, that got
It
graphic.
just kind of bends to the left a little. Don't worry about it.
My God. So what?
Hey,
Because
Joe.
now I
Joe. So you made yourself a nice meal, did you?
Oh,
Yeah, you want to talk? Actually, let's not talk.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about that. Because words will do this no justice. We'll just show it to all of you at home here in a minute.
Uh-oh.
Because it would not be a Sunday show for whatever reason. We're not talking Joe and food and whatever. So for your viewing pleasure, hopefully none of you ate anything
Get your sick bags
right before
ready.
the show. Well, I mean, Ren, you just had a slice of pie and some ice cream, so you might want to brace your. I mean, you've already seen it, but brace yourself. All of you at home. This, honestly, when I saw it in our group chat, it made me a little nauseous. I am not gonna lie. I saw it, I'm like, God, it just.
I'm ready.
I showed it to Emily, and the first thing that she said was like, "He's not Italian." I'm like, "Yeah."
Okay, now I'll explain later.
Right?
I'll
Thank
explain
you.
later. Just
Thank
So,
you, Emily, because I'm watching
just-
that and I'm like, this is the guy who's picky about pizzas, and oh,
So for,
I'll explain.
I mean, it's kind of apropos. Parental advisory for the video that we're about to show you, okay? Because it's something else. Here we go. So there you go. Joe, what? I mean,
what was
one.
that thing you put in at the end?
The,
that was a piece of.
I mean,
the
at least the
chocolate fudge.
cockroaches are eating well in your home.
That was
that
chocolate.
was- Yeah,
That's
that
what I
was my
thought it
homemade
looked like,
fudge.
and I was like, that can't be chocolate. What is that?
Yeah, it was. I had so much extra homemade fudge, but let me give context. At first, that roach addition added. I ain't got no goddamn roaches.
No,
no,
that
you
was
didn't.
legit.
And why were you
That
so
is
aggressive with it?
slander.
Why were you so aggressive?
I mean,
Like
because
slamming
okay,
doors and slamming things down. And,
because I'm in this one group chat that's always about cooking and food for Joe, and they're showing the most elegant goddamn things that they're buying or making.
And you gave them
And they were like,
roaches.
So they're like, look what I had, look what I had. And that day I was lazy. I was like, fuck it. I don't want to cook. I've been making so much chicken. And by the way, I do make homemade meatballs, my grandma's family recipe. But I was fucking, I don't want to cook today. I went down to Family Dollar and I got a can of SpaghettiOs and meatballs. And I was like, yeah, that's your guys' supper. Here's my fucking supper. Get ready.
I love the
And
fact that Joe doesn't have. He's sitting there, he's like, you know what? I don't feel like cooking today. But he doesn't have anything else in his house. So he's like, I gotta go to Family Dollar and buy some
Right?
SpaghettiOs.
It's right down the block.
yeah,
And I was
normally
like,
when you
fuck.
have a lazy day, you grab like a peanut butter and jelly or cereal.
Oh
Sorry, how's
man.
your father?
You know, use what's in
No,
your
but-
fridge or your pantry.
But I
All you had
was,
was
I just,
roaches.
God damn it, Rebecca. Now listen, I just didn't feel like cooking, so I got that. And their shoulder's like, yeah, get ready for it. So I fucking just was aggressive. I threw all that shit in there, the pepperoni, put the Parmesan cheese, and then I just threw a piece of that fudge right on the top of that. And I
Oh.
ate it. It was actually pretty, it was not
Ugh.
bad. It was actually not bad at all.
Ugh.
It was pretty good,
Like
but that's,
SpaghettiOs on their own.
Yeah.
suck.
I don't ever want
I-
to hear you talking about like, oh, I'm snobbish about this pizza. That's not a real Italian pizza.
oh, is that
I don't
Yeah.
ever want to
No,
hear it
listen,
again. Because we're like
It's the-
SpaghettiOs, Joe, and chocolate. Shut the fuck
It is
up.
it's the only crap in a can Italian stuff that I don't mind once in a while. SpaghettiO meatballs, that's it. Otherwise, yes, I make all my own homemade meatballs and the sauce, and then I have my pasta. So I do home. So see,
We've just never seen you do that before. We've never seen you actually like make something proper. It's always
You
spiders
see-
and chocolate.
I-
It's just
Hey,
spaghettios.
I've been eating
Underwear
really
and
good lately.
shit.
Rebecca,
You're
you're
a
digging
gross
me into a
dude,
hole.
man.
You're one sick man, Joe Amato.
I actually been eating a lot better lately.
No
But
wonder why
lots
you're
of-
pale.
Shut up! I've been eating just lots of chicken nonstop, and so I've been doing that chicken and broccoli and rice and fish. I had salmon today. I made salmon today, but I get really good deals. So I actually eat good, but shut up.
He gets
What-
good deals. He goes straight to the section where everything's expired.
Didn't I see James pop up and then disappear? I swear that James was just right there. I seen a comment from James and it disappeared.
You're crazy.
Still there. It didn't disappear.
There. See,
Well,
look, now he's
for those
gone.
of you at home, when Joe is like, "Yeah, man, I had salmon today," this is what he's talking about.
Oh
I had-
no!
It was wild caught pink salmon. I actually prepared it properly, and I gave
Yeah,
it a nice seasoning.
that's what it says on the can, Joe.
No, mine is wild caught pink. Oh my god, it does say that, doesn't it? No, mine was
Is that
actually
like
a big.
tuna fish, or is that like?
No, mine was
He has
big.
had a
It was-
healthy dose of mercury.
I'm saying mine was big and it was fresh.
Yeah,
so
sure.
mine was.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it, Rebecca. But it was, and it was fresh, and I prepared it and I seared it, and then I
canned
baked
stuff usually lasts pretty long, Joe.
You know what I did? I even took the remnants of it because it was such a big piece that I cut
remnants?
off like I had like 2/3 of it, and I cut off a third of it, and I diced it up, and I marinated
How do
it.
you disguise
with
the
some-
flavor? Because like I try to eat salmon because it's healthy, but like I don't like the flavor of it. It's
I know
so
some-
strong and fishy.
Fishy.
I
know-
usually have to put it in teriyaki sauce to make it taste good.
Well, God damn it! You stole my words out of my mouth. I was gonna say what I finished it off with is I diced it, the last third of it, put it into a bowl with teriyaki sauce, and mixed it up, and I'll have that. It's a
No,
sweet teriyaki.
Rebecca, you're doing
Yeah.
it wrong. What you need to do is just get yourself one of those little peppers and then douse it in hot sauce and throw a piece of fudge on it.
Oh,
Yeah.
what am
That's
I
how you-
thinking?
That's how you mask
What
it.
am I thinking?
Stir that shit up and throw it
But
in the
salmon
microwave.
can be
Yeah.
it can be a hit or a miss. Sometimes it can have a real fishy taste.
I try to
Sometimes
eat it because it's healthy, and I just don't like the flavor of it, so I'm always like covering it and stuff, and then I'm sure it's not
Yeah.
healthy by the time I'm done with it. So
no, and I get
see
it.
chicken
But
mostly.
no, but it's strange you say that because the only way I can really enjoy it is with a sweet teriyaki sauce, and sometimes there's like a
Mhm.
sweet teriyaki barbecue sauce you could do. So but yeah, and otherwise you can get fresh ahi tuna at places, and that's real good for you.
Sounds like
I
a
hate
bag
tuna
of
as
lies.
Other kinds of fish are better, but it's expensive. I feel
Yeah.
like tuna's the
Well, no,
healthiest
if you
one
go to
that's more
Aldi's-
affordable. I'm not-
Aldi's you can get. No,
Just
listen.
kidding.
Hold on a second. No, you gotta listen to me.
No,
can
you
get
gotta listen to me.
you get a
Little
3-pack of-
spaghettios.
They're thick. It's a thick thing too. It's thick.
So have
I mean,
you
and
ever caught your own fish and ate it?
Yeah, I caught catfish
have.
around here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
we got
that's fine.
catfish.
I was just telling Mom about that last night. I was like, when I was a
I
kid,
want one of those. I want one of those.
caught my own fish, and we caught enough that we were all able to eat the fish that we caught. And there was
Did
a bunch
you
of bones
choke
in it.
on any of the bone, or did you get
No,
it all
I was
out?
learned that that's how my dad was teaching me to like watch out for the bones in the fish. So
Why did you laugh, Nathan? I asked her.
Joe's like, did you choke on the bone?
I missed a bone. You
Uh-huh.
if you don't do it right, you can choke on the.
Yeah,
Okay,
Rebecca.
well,
Rebecca, Rebecca,
That's why I
have you had halibut before, Rebecca?
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, I recommend that. I don't know the pricing of it because it's harder to find around here, but it tastes like chicken. I
Oh,
thought.
that
Okay.
sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you prepare the ahi tuna steak properly, that even tastes like real steak. Now, what I'm
I'm
saying
not
is, you get it.
picking
Oh,
none.
God
Cooking
damn it,
advice from
Rebecca!
you just put
Let me
chocolate
finish.
in fucking spaghettios
I'm
I just
saying it's
saw
not.
you. Aggressively too. You were
I
so
did.
aggressive.
It,
You were
I
just
didn't see
slamming
I
things.
slammed my dirty microwave. I just slammed it. I
You
gotta get a new one
slapped
anyway.
the pepper on it.
I slept. Yep, I slept. Yep. So, anyways, it's thick. It might not be real long, but it is thick. You get 3 of them. It's this long, and it's thick.
Ah,
You get 3 of them.
Joe.
You get 3 of them in the pack for $4.99 at Aldi's, and it's real ahi tuna steak. Ah, fuck it. I'm trying to help you guys. Out.
we
It's
need
good
honestly,
shit.
we need to change this graphic too because Joe is not Italian. We have
No,
established that
it's
for sure tonight.
I'll show you my meatballs next week, and they're
No.
fresh.
No,
Where's the
no,
meatballs?
no.
Nope.
I will not be here next week.
I don't
I'm-
want to see.
We already
don't-
have the picture.
What is
Yeah.
that James
Keep
said?
your
Smoke
fucking
lettuce
meatballs to
with
yourself.
intense? Is that what Joe was talking about?
Smoke
No,
haddock
no,
is intense.
Never tried.
I'm
haddock
gonna
before.
I'll get you links, and if you got Aldi's in your area, you can get it.
I do
Tilapia
have
is good,
Aldi.
I've got
Rebecca.
Aldi.
Tilapia is good, and it's
Tilapia-
Tilapia
good.
doesn't have
Really
as
good.
much of the fishy taste. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
think.
yeah, no fishy taste. It's
I try to eat
cheaper.
fish because
Uh,
they're healthy.
yeah, it's good for you. I'll tell you fishes you can eat. Did I say fishes? Ah, fuck it. Who cares? You know what I'm saying. But yeah,
Well,
there's plenty of good
Nobody
fish
knows what you're
out
saying.
there.
Well, I mean, probably much like everyone at home, because I've watched the viewer count drop since we started talking about food. Do you
Oh,
guys
you-
want to go ahead? You guys
let's
want to go
go.
ahead? Do you want to move to the topic?
The
here?
viewer
let's
counts
go to the
dropped
topic.
when we heard Joe chewing.
Yeah.
No,
What's your
No, just,
favorite
it-
type of fish? Pie, like all of it.
Oh,
You
we
ever
know.
say
Chocolate
Super
and
Bowl night.
SpaghettiOs?
Well, yeah, it is that, but we know Ren's favorite type of.
Joe, I
pie.
had real spaghetti for dinner tonight, and it was delicious with Italian sausage, a spicy
is it real Italian
sauce.
sausage?
I don't know. It says Italian sausage on the package that I got. It's
Okay,
from the
eh,
butcher.
Okay, all right. I'll show you real meatballs, though. I'll make them sometime.
I don't want
All
to
right,
see your
let's get to-
meatballs.
Can we get to the topic? All right, let's go.
That's
We're gonna.
sexual harassment.
Jesus
It's
Christ!
unsolicited.
I'm gonna show them and fry them. So all right,
No.
yeah, we're gonna get.
Yeah, he's gonna prize balls. But so for those of you at home, and when you look at the title of this, UK Annual Sampler, because Joe was too lazy to send me photos of the entire book, because he, in his words, he said it's too many pages. I don't know exactly how many pages are
There's
in
over-
this annual.
There's over 60 pages.
I would've
60.
been fine. So
No,
I-
because this.
if you want to blame anyone for shortchanging you on this episode, you look no further than Mr. I'm going to show you my balls next week, Joe Amato.
No, I'm
Wait.
saying this is
Wait,
like
we didn't
3
get the whole
times.
thing?
No,
Yeah.
this is 3
No.
times as big as a comic from the UK comics. You know, some of those stories were like 9 pages for the 3 stories. These had tons of stories. So I figured just give a little bit. We can always do a little bit at a time, and that way you know
You
you're not hit with the,
lazy.
it's a lot
You
of
had
reading.
2 weeks. 2 weeks to
But
scan this.
There's a
And I sent
there's-
Nathan that.
Yeah,
He sent
Rebecca's
it
like,
to me.
what is Joe? Did Joe send you this stuff? I'm like, I'm waiting on the last little bit, and she was like, all right, I was about to message him with that gift, but hello, we're waiting.
Hello, JSP.
Where
There we go. Now the show can
JSP is
officially
here.
begin.
JSP is here. No, but the stories, like I said, there's some that have lots of words. There's more. It's like, well, it's more like storybooks.
I
Because
clicked on it. I'm like, wow,
words.
this is really short.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes, some
Yes,
of the,
yes, it does.
I agree, James.
The last page
Yeah.
is atrocious.
Yeah.
Admittedly, I
but-
didn't read
but-
any of this, so I'm
No.
unprepared.
Well, what I was gonna say is now the thing is, as for the second story we read, I mean, because the first one, I don't know if we're doing the unit. Oh well, the first one might be the more storybook one. It is. I mean, there's a lot of text, but it is well written. The art
I like that
for
story.
those,
I really like
Yeah,
both the
it's-
stories in this.
yeah, they're both good
The first
stories,
one's of
but
course
like,
really rushed, but the second one was really good story.
yeah, really
We'll-
descriptive.
We'll
Yeah.
start with that one first, actually, because I had that towards the end. But let's get that one first, and then we'll scroll back
Yeah.
to the beginning. So Joe was the way that the size of the book is, he couldn't actually scan it, so he
Scan.
just sent me sent me pictures from his phone.
tr-
So
I
mean
tried to
it
do
it looks good enough, all things considered. You did
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So I mean, those can, I mean, if you zoom in, then people can read that and stuff. But this one
Well,
is
Dushin had the idea, Joe, that you could just
Yeah.
read. You could
And
read
one of my
this to
favorite
us.
episodes of He-Man is titled "A Friend,"
Yeah.
but it has nothing to do with this.
But if I
Yeah,
read this,
yeah,
could
Uncle
take,
Joe, read it. Read it, Uncle Joe, read
this
it.
could take a long time. But let me get my book because that's blurrier and shit. Hold on a second.
Yeah,
This is what you sent us,
out.
Joe. This is what we
You
have to put up with.
bastard!
You would think that Joe would have
He's
had
like,
this with
that's
him.
a terrible scan. Let me go get mine. It's like, you did this.
Yeah,
Joe.
what idiot took a
So we-
picture of this?
This looks like shit. I'm glad I sent it to them.
Yeah, exactly. Like my eyes are hurting. I got a headache, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
it's tough.
I
I
can't even
read
see
it
the
all.
shit with my glasses on. What kind of bullshit is this? Yeah, I
Makes
didn't
me
read it
wish
either.
I was wearing glasses still.
I read
It's a
the
decent, it's a really
fucking
nice story.
comic
I
in the
like it.
beginning, and then it got to all these words, and I was like, man, I'm not doing this.
Oh man, Ren's lazy. I mean, I can't say much. I didn't read any of this.
No,
this
these
week.
are like I said. It's very.
Well, Joe, show off some more of the. Well, actually, you
I
read
didn't
the
know
story
we could
first,
change
and then
this
we'll
on
show off some of the other things in the book from your.
All right,
end.
let me.
And
I don't, own any
when-
I don't own any of these, so I didn't know they were so long. I got
Okay.
the what Nathan sent me, and I was like, oh, this is really short.
And
All right,
we-
well,
that
this
was
one
just-
is a
We all-
friend in need.
Well, Joe,
Joe,
before you,
Joe.
Yeah.
When you get to the end of the text on the page, be sure to make a sound so Nathan can know to switch the picture.
Turn the page.
Yeah.
Exactly.
well, Joe, before you start reading it, we also let's talk really quickly too that the fact that this is 1989. So at this point
Yes.
in the States, Master Universe, we're almost treading into New Adventures territory soon enough. So
Yeah, and I like how in the UK. I mean, I know that I couldn't remember. They definitely had a longer run of everything, and I like that they were expanding stories and stuff. But yeah, this one it's going to be as you see, it's going to be heavy centric around.
James is dropping some.
Well, no spoilers.
Trivia
I
in
guess
the
I'll read it.
comments.
yeah, I'll put James's little bits that he's putting here in the chat up on the screen for everyone, so it'll be like VH1's pop-up video in the early
Yeah,
2000s.
You
Pop-up
video.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
there
so
you
there you have it. So there you have it, Joe. You have to do an English accent.
No,
Oh, I can't
just
speak like them
yeah,
English
yeah,
people.
yeah. Joe,
All right, this is-
just read it.
A friend in need. As had so often happened in the past, the courtyard of Eterno's palace rang to the clamor of battle. It was all heard once again. The distinctive hum of laser fire, the grunting and wheezing of warriors, the shrill chime of metal striking metal. Yet this time it wasn't the sound of Eternian heroes grappling with evil foes, but the sound of heroic warriors struggling against their fellows. The sound of Man-at-Arms and Extendar battling with Stone-Dar and Rock-On. Man-at-Arms steadied himself, wiping sweat from his eyes with the back of his hand. Stone-Dar was bearing down on him, and he slowly raised his mega laser, aimed it, and fired a stream of violet light pulses at the advancing Comet Warrior. The shimmering energy blast sped towards their target, crashing into Stone-Dar's outer shell. But they merely caused him to stagger backwards, and he quickly regained his balance. Then, after transforming into his meteor form, he propelled himself at the Eternian scientist. There was little time for retreat, and Man-at-Arms was bowled over and dumped on the cobblestone floor. Stone-Dar was looming above him. The leader of the Comet people had reverted to his humanoid form and was grinning smugly. With speed uncommon in a man of his age, Man-at-Arms suddenly rolled onto his side and lashed out with his legs, tripping Stone-Dar. The full weight of the mighty alien space warrior smashed to the ground, cracking the cobblestones. He slowly picked himself up. It'll take a lot more than a fall to knock me out of commission, he said with a smile. Oh, I know it will, came a voice from behind the Comet person. Stone-Dar quickly turned, but was caught and held fast by the steel strong arms of Extendar. Bling!
No,
Okay.
actually, Joe, I really like it. I like that you're reading this because for our audio listeners to this will be a good
Yeah.
way. You're reading the story to everybody. So yeah,
Okay.
keep going, Joe. You're doing a good job.
Okay. Thank you. Hang on, Stone-Dar, cried Rock-On, racing across the courtyard towards his companion. He grasped Extendar's arms and tried to break the fierce grip he had on his friend. On seeing this, Man-at-Arms scrambled to his feet and hurled himself at Rock-On, adding to the already chaotic struggle. For long, silent minutes, the battle continued, and then, without warning, the four heroic warriors fell to the ground, landing in a confusing mass of flailing limbs. I see you're enjoying yourselves, laughed Prince Adam as he left Eternal's palace and strolled across the courtyard. But I'm afraid I'll have to put a stop to your antics. The time allocated for your training session has run out. Already? I don't believe it, exclaimed Man-at-Arms, rubbing a sore and bruised shoulder. Never mind, Man-at-Arms, said Stondar, standing. Maybe you and Extendar will get the better of Rockon and me next time. Next time? What do you mean next time? We won this combat. I don't think so, laughed Stondar, transforming into his meteor form and soaring skyward. Come on, Rockon. What do you say to a relaxing flight through the upper atmosphere? Sounds good to me, replied Rockon, joining his friend in the air. The two comet people climbed higher and higher. Soon they were nothing but distant gray-colored specks. Then they were gone. How do those two do it? Don't they ever rest? Asked Man-at-Arms, turning to Adam. Who knows, replied the prince with a shrug of his shoulders. Anyway, such commitment is vital if we're ever to defeat the forces of evil. Of course it is, lad, said Man-at-Arms, placing a friendly hand on Adam's shoulder. And I wasn't complaining. Now, why don't we take a trip to my laboratory? There's a couple new weapon systems I've been meaning to show you. Together the two friends turned, walked briskly across the courtyard, and entered Eternal's palace. Behind them, Extendar looked down at the broken cobblestones and sighed wearily. He was alone. He seemed always to be alone. Since arriving at the royal palace, he'd been made more than welcome, but the heroic warriors were a tightly knit band, and Extendar had been somehow excluded from the group. Prince Adam, Man-at-Arms, even Stondar and Rockon, they all seemed to prefer the company of a few long-established friends with whom they shared common bonds of loyalty and fellowship. Extendar just hadn't known the Eternians' heroes long enough to establish such bonds, and the last time he experienced true friendship was when he was still known as Dudon. I don't know if it's Dudon or Duden. I'm going to say Duden. It sounds like Dushin. Dude, I'm going to say Duden. Duden, the athlete. His closest companion then had been a fellow athlete, Thaden. The pair were virtually inseparable. They ran races together, organized sporting events, and generally enjoyed each other's company. But on one fateful day, they accidentally crossed the border into the Fright Zone and were captured by Hordak. He transformed them into the cyber warriors, Extendar and Dragstor. However, with a supreme effort of will, Extendar had managed to throw off the effects of Hordak's mind control and escape, but not so Dragstor. All traces of Thaden's former personality had been removed. He had been turned into a mindless automaton, blindly loyal to Hordak and the evil Horde. He-Man had vowed to help free the brainwashed Dragstor, yet all his attempts to do so, bling, so far had met with failure. I like this, by the way, I like the description we're going to get about how the Fright Zone here on Eternia. It's kind of cool.
I do too.
Yeah.
It makes it make a lot of sense. I really like how they explain it.
Absolutely. And now with almost daily attacks from Skeletor and King Hiss, it seemed unlikely that he'd have the time to fulfill his oath. No, if anyone was going to free Dragstor, it was Extendar, and with this thought in mind, he extended his legs to their fullest length, strode over the palace battlements, and began to march across the green plains of Eternia. Many miles ahead of him lay the dark side of the planet, and beyond that, the Fright Zone. For 3 long years, the Fright Zone had been a safe sanctuary to the evil Horde. After traveling from Etheria to Eternia, Hordak had wasted little time in selecting a vast area of many square kilometers to serve as his new home. Then, using his arcane science, he had molded it into an exact replica of the Etherian Fright Zone. With a casualness bordering on contempt, he transformed an area of great natural beauty into a charred and blasted landscape. Acre after acre of grass was scorched and turned into black and fertile ash. Rivers were dammed and filled, creating deep and treacherous marshes, and tall, ancient trees were set ablaze, reduced to little more than brittle husks. This transformation had resulted in all animal life fleeing the area. No birds were seen nesting in the trees, no stallions roaming the meadows. In fact, the only sound to be heard was that made by the swarms of bats introduced to the region by Hordak. Not surprisingly, the Fright Zone's infamous reputation had preceded it, and it was now avoided by all good Eternians. Still, Extendar was well aware of such facts, and undaunted, he continued on his journey. Many hours after leaving, Eternals had he entered Hordak's nightmare land. He peered into the gloom. Hordak's lair was located at the heart of the fright zone, but Extendar had no idea in which direction this lay. No matter where he looked, everything appeared to be the same, as if the entire region had been purposely designed to confuse travelers. With a sinking feeling in the pit of his stomach, Extendar realized he was lost. Still, at least on his way to the fright zone, he'd had enough time to plan on how he was going to free Dragstore. The time there would be no cunning plays, no stalking in the darkness. This time he'd simply march up to Hordak and offer to surrender on the condition Dragstore was, ding.
Turn the page, asshole. Sorry.
On the condition Dragstore was immediately released and dispatched to Eternal's palace. Extendar realized that if his madcap scheme succeeded, he'd face torture and worse. But it was a small price to pay for the freedom of his friend. With renewed determination, Extendar increased the length of his telescopic neck so that he could peer above the treetops. To the east, he could see the smoke of a campfire. It was undoubtedly the evil horde's base, and after memorizing its precise location, Extendar returned to his normal proportions. Suddenly, there was a clap of thunder, and Extendar was struck by a silver-blue blast of electricity. He staggered and fell forward into a pool of bubbling mud. Pulling himself free from the oozing swamp, he turned and stared at his attacker. It was Hordak. Unless you want another blast from this, the evil scientist sneered, aiming an electroshock pistol on Extendar, I suggest you remain perfectly still. How did you know I was here? Extendar gasped. Oh, you're so naive, Extendar. My orbiting satellite sighted you as soon as you entered the fright zone. As if on cue, the ape-like Grizzlor shambled out of a dense thicket of burnt-out trees. He turned to Hordak and said, Shall I bind the heroic fool, master? No, Extendar cried. There's no need. I came here to strike a bargain. A bargain, eh? Hordak said thoughtfully. Yes, you free Dragstore and I'll give myself up. What do you think I'd honor? Why do you think I'd honor such a bargain? Laughed Hordak. Right now, both you and Dragstore are in my power, and that's how things are going to stay. Grizzlor, take him. Bing.
Dragstore, you dork.
Voices. I know I said Dragstore. I meant to say Dragstore, and I'm not doing voices. It just would be too much.
No, you're really good at this, Joe. You're doing fantastic.
I mean, even James made a point to say Joe's really bloody good at reading out loud. That's not sarcasm either. I'm shit when trying to read out loud. Yeah, Joe, you're doing.
I appreciate it.
No, you're doing good, and I want to say I don't want to reserve it for then, but I want to say that I know that they do this a lot in the UK annuals and the way these are written out. I wish more stuff like this had been done here in the States, because I think that the property itself lends itself very well to these types of stories. I wish they would have done more of this stuff around.
Yeah, when we're done with this, it'll be something to expand on, because I love the descriptiveness. It makes you use your imagination.
It really does.
Yeah, and I apologize if I am fumbling words. If you ever notice I'm moving my head like this,
yeah, you're doing
the
great.
eye holes make it
Dude,
to where
all right, so
I'd be fumbling way more than you.
Absolutely, and you're reading through a mask, and you've read a few pages already, so yeah.
And you're 70 years old with cataracts.
Thanks. Okay. Well,
I'm gonna stay silent because everybody's being so positive to Joe. So I'm just gonna
Oh, okay. That's fair.
Where is he? He can't have just disappeared off the face of Eternia, shouted Prince Adam as he paced the stone battlements of Eternal's palace. Unusually silent, his friend and pet Cringer padded alongside him. Extendar's absence had been noticed, and for some hours now the other heroic warriors had been out looking for their missing comrade. Adam and Cringer had remained behind to coordinate the numerous search parties, but as yet they'd heard nothing. Understandably, they were growing increasingly restless. Relax, Adam, Cringer said. Extendar will turn up, I hope. Suddenly, Mossman appeared on the battlements. Adam, he cried. I've been communicating telepathically with the trees in the evergreen forest, and they say that Extendar passed by them over 4 hours ago. He was heading westward. Westward? There's nothing in that direction except... Adam suddenly paused, realization sinking in. Except the fright zone. Come on, Cringer. If Extendar's gone there, there's no telling what trouble he's in. The Great Cat and the Prince of the Eternian Realm raced from Eternal's palace and sped across the royal gardens. Once out of sight, Adam drew his power sword. With a blinding flash of magical energy, Adam was transformed into He-Man and Cringer into Battle Cat. He-Man leapt on the back of his mighty steed and, with grim determination, the pair headed westward. Hours later, the amazing duo reached the boundary of the Fright Zone. Dismounting, He-Man raised his sword and fired a pencil-thin beam of energy skyward. Traveling at the speed of light, the beam soared up through the outer atmosphere and struck the Horde's spy satellite, destroying it in a fiery explosion. Free from Hordak's prying gaze, He-Man and Battle Cat quickly made their way to the center of the Horde encampment. Leech, Modulok, and the other Horde warriors were huddled in a small group, whispering. Occasionally, they cast furtive glances at the Eternian heroes, but they made no move to stop them. By Horde Prime, I don't believe you, He-Man. How dare you confront me here on my own territory, Hordak cried, darting out of a small wicker hut. Let's get straight to the point, Hordak, He-Man said calmly. I'm here to challenge you to personal combat. If I win, both Extendar and Dragstore return to Eternos with me. If you're the victor, you could dispose of me as you will. Hordak fell silent. Personal combat was an ancient tradition designed to allow individual Horde members the opportunity to honorably settle their differences. Hordak had, in fact, risen to his current position by confronting and defeating his enemies in such contests. Still, He-Man wasn't a Horde member, and Hordak was under no obligation to accept the challenge. If he didn't, however, he'd lose face in the front of his troops. Leech and the other warriors would take refusal to fight as a sign of weakness, and then they would be harder to control in the future. But it would be even more difficult to keep them in line if he accepted the challenge and lost. Hordak lowered his head, carefully considering his options. Minutes later, he looked up and stared hard at He-Man. Very well, he said. Modulok, fetch this fool a weapon. Modulok disappeared into a hut and returned moments later carrying a bizarre weapon. He threw it at He-Man's feet. Ah, a three-headed mighty mace, He-Man said admiringly. I haven't used one of these in a long time. He stooped and picked up the weapon. It was basically an armband with 3 metal spokes attached to it. The spokes ended in heavy golden-colored balls. He-Man strapped the contraption to his forearm and clenched his fist. In response, the spokes began to spin at an incredible speed. Well, I have my weapon, He-Man said to Hordak. What are you going to use? Oh, I'll think of something, Hordak exclaimed, suddenly transforming his arm into a photon cannon and blasting the heroic warrior. He-Man was slammed backwards. I take it the combat started then, he said, leaping at his evil foe. Preparing himself for the attack, Hordak raised his cannon arm and, with the distinctive whir of working machinery, a 3-headed thunderball mace sprouted from his barrel. Clang! With a sound that echoed throughout the entire Fright Zone, the two enemies clashed in deadly combat. He-Man spun his mace at Hordak's chest, but the Horde commander leapt backwards, skillfully avoiding the blow. Bling! He-Man gasped, falling forward onto his knees. Hordak bent low and said, Before I came to this pitiful mud ball of a planet, I used to be known as Hurricane Hordak. Do you know why? It's because I smashed everything in my path. With an evil chuckle, he swung his mace at the Eternian, but He-Man miraculously darted out of the way and scrambled to his feet. It's time this game ended, He-Man said, delivering a crushing blow. He struck out with the mighty mace a second time. Defenseless against He-Man's furious assault, Hordak crumbled and fell to the ground. Stop! Stop, he begged. You win! You win! You're so noble in defeat, Hordak, He-Man said sarcastically. Now where are Extendar and Dragstore? Hordak turned to his evil friends. Modulok, Leech, go and fetch Extendar and Dragstore, he whimpered. Soon, a much relieved Extendar was standing beside He-Man. "Boy, am I glad to see you," he said. "I was sure Hordak was going to use his slime pit to turn me into a slime monster." "Well, you're safe now," He-Man said, "and both you and Dragstore are coming home with me." At this, Dragstore, who had been standing close to Extendar, turned and walked over to Hordak. He seemed worried and puzzled, and he took a deep breath of the fuel vapors that traveled down the cables attached to the side of his head unit. Inside the steel casing of his body, his powerful engines revved and stopped. "It's all right, Dragstore," Hordak said, almost gently. "You can go with them." And so a short while later, oh wait, I forgot, ding. Sorry.
Yeah, you didn't do the bing.
Okay, bing. Okay. "It's all right, Dragstore," Hordak said almost gently. "You can go with them." And so a short while later, He-Man and Battle Cat, along with Extendar and Dragstore, left the Fright Zone on their way back to the Eternals Palace. "It was terrible," Extendar said, obviously shaken by his experience. "Just terrible. I was chained to a cold stone wall, and..." "It's okay," He-Man said reassuringly. "Once we're back at Eternals, you'll be able to enjoy a well-deserved rest." Eternals. At the sound of this single word, Dragstore stopped dead in his tracks. Although he'd been fitted with only limited intelligence circuits, he knew that Eternals was home to Hordak's enemies. But why had Hordak ordered him to go there? It just didn't make sense. Hordak must have been mistaken. But even if this was the case, could Dragstore disobey a direct command? Yes, he could. And displaying independent thought for the first time since he was transformed into a cyborg, he turned and sped back to the Fright Zone, back to his master, Hordak, back to his only friend. "Dragstore, stop!" Extendar cried after him. "You don't know what you're doing. Stop!" "Let him go," He-Man said softly. "We'll never catch him now. Besides, it's probably best this way. We may not have been able to reverse the effects of Hordak's mind control, and who knows what might have happened then. No, if Dragstore is ever to truly escape the evil horde, he'll have to leave them on his own free will." "Yes, I suppose you're right," Extendar said with a heavy heart. And with his two friends beside him, he began the long journey back to the Royal Palace of Eternos.
Yeah.
The end.
Yeah,
That's a good story.
Yeah, that was pretty solid. I guess my question from this, after you read all this, and Joe, thank you for doing so, is was any of this taken in the context with what Scott Neitlich would use with the Classics bios on this at all?
I know, if I'm not mistaken, for the Classic bios, it was mixed parts of this, some of the UK magazines, along with this stuff, if I'm not mistaken, Dushin, wasn't it in the one of those style guides where they had the descriptions where we got on Wonder Bread cards? In case you're wondering, the Wonder Bread cards that were released here in the United States gave more in-depth stuff about Dragstore, Extendar, Rio Blast, but they were never like the stuff that they really expand on were never in our mini comics. But I think they took that style guides, or not style guide, I'm trying to use the right word, Dushin, but they used that for some of the stories that went to the UK.
Maybe.
I was gonna say, did you put him to sleep like it looks like Ren is doing over there? Is Ren falling asleep on us?
No, Ren's okay.
No,
but
still
what
up.
I liked is like I said, and I know Rebecca will get into this too, but I like that, this was really well written. I got to give it to him, because there's a lot of stories we have, they're just kind of
It
quick.
fleshes out a lot of the characters.
Yeah, and it was very descriptive, and I loved how they described about how the Fright Zone was, conceptualized there on, Eternia, and yeah, they did. It's especially since these are storybooks, like James said, these are a lot of the stories from these annuals. The majority were story books, so it was like one picture or a couple, and yes, some of them were very painful to look at. But
I showed those off close up. Yeah, sure, the art on them not the best, but listening to you read it, Joe, and just the descriptiveness in it, goes back to the whole point that this property lends itself to do more of those types of things, aside from just having mini comics and other magazines where it's just very short stories. Having something like that, even though that was 8 pages, whatever it may have been, just having it in that type of format is something that should have been explored way more, just beyond the UK annuals. With James also saying the early, and Joe, you could, since you've read most of them, he says that the earliest annuals are really quite dark in places.
Yeah,
so.
and we'll definitely cover some of those as well. I mean, he is correct, and I mean, if you look at obviously the 4 first original mini comics we got, there was basically those are kind of story books, but obviously not as big.
Not like that though.
Yeah, like this really went in depth, and I love the story you were seeing about friendship, how it started off. You had Stondar and Rockon, and then you had Adam and Man at Arms, and then Extendar was alone, because it is true. I mean, him and Dragstore, before they were turned, there was a friendship, and now he's lost and alone, and he would have did anything to even just becoming somebody to the Horde just to free his friend. It was a great story of friendship. And Rebecca, what were you thinking about, like a lot of the descriptiveness too, like things that you've seen or that you liked? Because it is a good story.
Well, I really liked it. Like I said, I really loved how they described the Fright Zone, and like the visuals of like Hordak coming out of a little hut and Mantana running in and out of a little hut, grabbing weapons. It's having. I love the idea of them having Horde Prime, where on Etheria where he's ruler, and then here where he's not ruler, they're building their little army. It's a.
Building their wicker huts.
Yeah, their little nasty.
Which is also identical to the other Fright Zone.
Well, so he said he made it to try to look like it, and they've been there for 3 years.
Yeah, but out of wicker.
Well, they probably had huts to the side, you shit. Like there's
And
a
in
Fright
theory,
Zone.
he has like a massive factory, and here he has a wicker hut.
Dick, piss off.
He probably takes a shit in a hole.
I think it has to be more crude because he doesn't have the power that he has on Etheria.
Right.
Doesn't even have indoor plumbing.
Oh God. What were you going to say, Bren? Or Nathan, you were going to say something. Sorry.
No, I like the whole idea too of just the how they set up like the combat scenarios. It's very much throwback to Coliseum days. And tossing that in there to add that layer of something that I didn't know. I guess when you really think about it, that type of thing would have existed there. Well, you're top dog. Let's go. I want to take a shot. Let's trial by combat kind of thing. I like that aspect of it a lot too. It was a solid enough story. I have no problems with it. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It helps it helps that it was read to me too.
Yeah, because and that's now, Nathan. That's what I was getting at, man. It's like I didn't want to do the entire thing because I mean,
go ahead. Go ahead and show off some more of the rest. Well, I mean, there's a lot of other stories and there's a lot of and of course there's some that go more comic like. Some of the other ones that go more comic like. But there's a lot of ones where there's a lot of fucking reading. I mean. There's more where and art isn't as bad getting some of the later ones. For the story what's that right there at the very end? That looks like a board game.
Oh yeah, they used to do stuff like this too. Yeah, so they
games. That's really cool.
Yeah, they added a lot of things.
I've seen that before online. I didn't know where it came from though. That's cool.
Yeah, there is, and then they even had
one thing I think we should attempt to do is do something like Joe. That seems pretty simplistic enough right there, the board game on the back at the end of the book. If we could get that and put it on screen and each of us have like a little piece, I could do it in OBS.
We could play. Remember,
we could do something. I want to do something like that.
Don't you? Well, not only that, remember I did that from the coloring books. I used to share them online. I couldn't remember how many of you seen that, but I like redrew 3 of those and colored them in and added stuff. And even there was one space where there was a rule that didn't make sense, but I put those on for everybody to play and, like to have fun with, their family, friends, whatever. But and this one I was going to scan just to give people like something fun to look at. It's the find the difference thing.
I'm surprised you didn't send me that. That would have been.
Yeah, I should have, because maybe I'll do that for next week.
The Webster story.
Yeah, and then the reason, now I got to find, I think I have 2 of these. The reason I didn't do the Webster story, I'm missing a fucking page. Just when it came to me, there's no page. That pisses me off, so I don't know how it started. But
that sucks.
Yeah. No, Ren, beyond the art, though, for the story, what did you think of the story?
I liked it. Outside of your voice, it was very, very entertaining.
Oh, that's me.
Hearing you stumble was very.
Joe did better than I think any of us here would have done.
gosh.
Reading that many
Don't
pages
do
in
that.
a row.
Don't do that.
But you know what?
You're much better.
You know what? Next time we cover one of these,
Speak for yourself.
Ren, you're gonna have to read the whole story. All right?
Yeah, you read it.
If he sends a good enough fucking scan, I have no problem reading. I have
All
no
right.
problem reading the damn
I had
thing.
a couple stumbles, but you got to keep in mind I'm going like this between my eyeballs.
Yeah,
and
you
was
got to
skipping
think
lines
Joe's
and
wearing
lines.
Joe's wearing a mask. He's really spastic
Yeah, let's
to begin
let's
with.
give him all
like-
the excuses you can.
No, I give Joe props.
I read
on
really
that.
well, and I can be
I was actually
descriptive.
I was
I
actually
did
really
so
proud of
good.
him.
I'm Joe, and I did so good.
The only word.
Oh my god, I want to beat the
Yep.
fuck out of him.
The
all right,
only word that he stumbled or like was confused about for a second. What was it? It was.
Yeah, what did I fumble on? Because I was reading fast and I missed a word. I don't know what the hell I did. I stumbled one and missed one. But
Oh,
You also call Dragster Dragstar.
Oh
Leave me
yeah,
alone.
yeah, douche, and you're one to talk. Your accent changes everything.
Yeah, there's. I know there was a couple words I mostly stumbled on, but,
He's
but yeah,
speechless.
I got little holes that I'm looking through, so it does make it a little difficult to read.
Yeah.
This other one was really short.
Is that story?
The last unicorn.
And this
This is the only one I read.
This will give all of you at home a little tiny taste, and it's funny that it's kind of ironic, given the title of this story is actually going to tie into what I believe, if we're going according to plan, next week. Just a heads up, we're going to be discussing the Last Unicorn movie. So.
Yay!
And Red, go ahead. You can read this one. It's
No,
not like a
no, we don't. No, we don't have.
This
to
one's
do
way
that,
more
right?
simplified and short. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Make it bigger. All right, hold on. All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Visitors to the planet Eternia considered it to be a lush and peaceful world. Now, I do want to say, the bubbles on this in some of the pages don't go in order.
No,
I
it
know,
was a
especially the
little.
last
It was
page.
a little. I
The way
read
you
a
have to
couple
follow
things
it.
out of place because
So,
I was
yeah.
like, that doesn't make
So
sense.
scoot
Yeah.
it over.
Yeah.
They marvel at the variety of plants and animal life. What does it say? What was that? Hey.
You already read it.
Yeah, you
No,
already
no.
read-
Somebody posted something up there. And that evil often lurks just below the surface. However, if they were to look more closely, damn it, came off, they might discover that things are not quite as they seem. Just as I thought. There is something up there. I wonder what it is. Trinkets aren't often found in this part of the Dead Sea. Snake Mount. Is it that part or that part? So
No,
you're
left,
still
left
talking.
one. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a miniature unicorn. I don't know how or why it came to be here, but I'm sure Skeletor will reward me well for such a prize. Snake Mountain, hours later. It takes him that long to swim there. You have done well, merman.
It doesn't even look like a mountain.
Yeah, he's doing the ding. Yeah.
Yeah, I was doing the same thing. I read things out of order because I was like, wait, which one?
Yeah, it was hard for me to go
A little.
figure
It's
out
a
what
little
was going on.
convoluted.
Yeah, with Ren doing that, now I can see how easily you could be confused by, oh no, traditionally you're looking to read that first, then yeah.
Right.
All right,
Yeah,
go ahead,
some
Ren.
of them are really bad. And I think it's a little.
The
couple
last
pages
page
up.
is the worst one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once I've used my magical powers to return it all to full size, the unicorn will make me a fine battle stallion. But Lord Skeletor, I thought the unicorns became extinct centuries ago when the Snake Men invaded Eternia. They did, Beastman, but legends tell how one last unicorn survived under the protection of a powerful wizard. Now it has fallen into my clutches and a mystical force blast. See, and I think you're supposed to
I think
read
the wizard.
the description
wizard's
first.
next.
Okay,
Yeah, it is.
so the wizard shrank the unicorn and placed it inside a magical bottle. He then cast the bottle into the ocean, obviously intending to retrieve it once King Hiss and his minions were vanquished. However, the wizard fell foul of the forces of darkness, and the unicorn was lost at sea. until
unicorn.
now. So then I go back up. I read
Yeah,
the
the
skeletal
Skeletor
part.
part.
Now it has fallen into my clutches, and a mystical force blast, Frazak, will restore it to its former glory. Merman, Beastman, secure the animal.
It's a wild unicorn though. It's gonna fight back.
He's a cool
Look at
looking
that
horse. Though.
face.
Yeah.
Look at that face.
It's like
While I brand it,
Mm.
I'm trying to figure out.
that's so mean.
I wonder what the branding says on the other way. The magical properties of this branding iron will rob the unicorn of its free will, and I can't wait to see the look on He-Man's face when he learns that such a pure and noble creature has fallen under my evil power.
The unicorn's like, the fuck you will.
Yes, he's just punching them in the face.
I mean, when you think about being around horses like that and being in the situation Skeletor is about to brand this horse, yeah, of course, this
Yeah.
unicorn is going to start kicking the shit out of everybody.
Mhm.
No,
Somebody
but
should have tied that
this
thing up a long
unicorn-
time ago.
the unicorn is literally boxing them.
Hit
Yeah,
him with his
well,
Well, that's fucking.
ankles.
I mean, like it. From what I get from the motion, essentially the unicorn is just bucking.
Rearing.
So it's going to be front feet and back feet, just like they're going to be
Right.
doing this, doom, 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 kind of thing.
Mhm.
You know we can't see you, right? Oh yes, we can. I guess we
Yeah,
can.
you can see.
Oh,
right
I've
here
got
on the
I've
left.
got it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you got it zoomed so you can see it.
Yeah, I've got it zoomed in so I can
Yeah.
see you guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, stop it, you fools. It's escaping. Stop it. Crack a doom.
Right in the ass.
Right in the ass. Yeah, you got lightning bolt in the ass.
It's cool that
Shortly-
Rio Blast is in this. I like that a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he gets
Blood's
He get-
going to get depressed.
torn up in this thing. Shortly
Aw.
at Castle Grayskull, your telepathic summons sounded urgent, sorceress. It was He-Man. My magical senses have warned me that Skeletor has found the legendary last unicorn.
What?
What?
Be calm, good Rio Blast. The unicorn has escaped, but is even now being stalked by Skeletor, and there's no need to continue, sorceress. We'll find the unicorn, and heaven help Skeletor if he stands in our way. There it is, Master. I told you I'd be able to track down the unicorn using my animal senses. Yes, you did, Beast Man. And seeing as you're acting so smug, you can capture it. There's a nice unicorn. Come to Beast Man.
And it's like,
Beast
fuck
Man
you.
won't hurt. Womp. He should have stabbed the shit out of Beast Man.
Well, that's the funny thing too about seeing after we're bucking, we're punching and kicking the shit out of everybody. We escape, and the first thing is, oh, we're gonna graze and stand by this water. It's very much what horses do, because a couple days ago, one of the horses got out and was running around the house, around the front yard, and I get a text, and Emily's like, "Come outside. I need you to open the front gate, but do so in a sense that the other two horses won't get out, and I can get her back in." Right? So I was like, "Oh, all right, sure." I go up to the gate, and I'm like, "Well, what do you want me to do? Because they're standing right here. If I open this any further, they're going to want to go out too." And what the horse that's out comes up. Like, all right, this is gonna work. So I creak it open a little bit more. She gets kind of spooked for a second, and she darts out again. But then the other two run out, and then Emily's like, "Fuck!" And I was like, "Ah!" So she gets pissed. She goes around the house to where they're all at grazing, gets mad at them. They all take note, and I'm standing there at the gate, and they just rush up, and I just hear, and they go past me right into the gate, and I shut the gate, and I was like, "Oh man,
That's so
yeah."
cool.
It's awesome, but this right here, yeah, I can, yeah.
No, but they
Unicorn
keep going. You can't catch them.
Oh,
Yeah, they're gonna
absolutely.
get you.
They're stubborn. They are stubborn. If
Oh
you
God,
try,
they are.
you walk up to them, if they know what's up, like, oh, you're gonna take me, and we're going to a barrel race, or we're gonna go on a ride or whatever, and they don't want to do that.
Mm.
You get close enough, and then they take off. And I so many times will be out there when she needs to capture one of the horses and go to a barrel race that she gets close enough and just both directions you see her just stand there, and then she'll walk over, get probably about 10 feet away, takes off again in the other direction. It's like a good 30-minute process. So yeah. Sorry, Ren, you did the bing. I needed to change the page.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. The ding is good enough. All right. No, stay back. He-Man and Real Blast? What the?
No. Wait.
You're doing it wrong, Ren.
What's the order? Does he first go, what the fuck?
Well,
and then
actually,
He-Man and
yeah.
Real Blast?
That's true. We have the panel here, so technically it should go here then there and then there.
No,
we're seeing the rope. You guys see the rope.
Yeah.
You see the rope.
Yeah,
It
sorry,
should go
yeah.
with
The lasso.
and then Real Blast. So I did it wrong. So
Yeah.
what the, and then He-Man Real Blast. I don't know why you're so surprised, Beastman. I can track animals as well as you can. Now lie back there. I'll deal with you after I've tangled with Skeletor.
Clang.
Ha! I won't fall for this old trick, He-Man. I know you're my superior in any test of physical strength. But a simple flick of my ram's head staff will disarm you, giving me enough time to cast a teleportation spell and escape. Is that the end of it?
No, you
Ding.
gotta there you go. Bing.
Oh, sorry. You're going to wait for it. He-Man retrieves his power sword and
Real Blast.
ha
being
ha
a dick.
ha. I don't believe it. Well, whoops. I fail to see what's so funny. You're not seeing things from where I'm standing. I have you know, I broke in plenty of wild horses while I was in the Star Brand.
Star Band.
All it takes is patience and oof,
Wump.
whoomp. Okay, see, it worked. The
Wow, this
unicorn's
is so
calming down.
convoluted.
You can say that. Oh no, I
No,
think
no,
that's
for
more
Right?
to do.
It's so
yeah,
convoluted.
this is where it's
I
jacked
read
up.
this all.
Yeah.
I think that's more to do with Skeletor's disappearance than your writing skills, Rio. Yes, He-Man, but it saddens me to think that he cannot freely roam the
No,
plains of
no,
Eternia.
not that.
No?
Sometime later.
He answers her.
No. First, sometime
No.
later, then she says, at least he seems happy enough, and then he goes, you can say
Oh,
that
really?
again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're going in these squared parts.
Yeah,
Then it
doom,
goes
doom,
off to
down
the
here,
side.
then
It
up
is
here.
fucking
So
really
you
bad.
follow Real Blast's foot then. Okay. Yeah, this is bad design. So
Very bad.
at
layout.
least he seems happy enough. You can say that again, Sorceress. It was a good idea to use your powers to shrink the unicorn and place him in the miniature reserve. Yes, He-Man, but it saddens me to think that he cannot freely roam the plains of Eternia until after Skeletor has finally been defeated.
That's kind of depressing.
Yeah.
Ding!
Right? I feel
Yeah.
really bad.
Yep.
It was trapped in a little bottle for how.
Yeah, man.
Since the
And now it's in
frickin-
an aquarium.
and now it's in an aquarium. It's
Terrible.
Yeah, I wish the layout would have been a little better. Yeah, you're right.
the
Jinx. I
story
remember
was
when I was
okay.
Yeah, story was
yeah.
fine enough.
It was a fine one.
I
And the
thought
art,
Real
like I
Blast was
said-
an interesting choice. I
Emily
feel like
gives it
having
a 10 out
either-
of 10. It had a horse in it. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, exactly.
Now,
Seriously,
I
though,
love
PSA: do not fuck around with horses. They can sense every emotion that you're
Yep.
feeling, and any
I
if,
love
if
horses.
you're nervous,
Mhm.
they'll
know
knock
it.
your teeth out.
yeah, if you any hesitation,
Oh, wow, yeah.
so you need to approach them with confidence and strength to know, like, because they will fuck you up.
Very free spirited animals.
Yep.
And they're much stronger than you. So be
I've
Absolutely.
never been around a horse. So.
Yeah, you
They're
stay away
awesome.
from those
I
guys.
love horses.
You would absolutely traumatize them.
Yeah, I don't think horses would
Probably.
like you, Joe.
That's
just-
actually sense my evil, huh? 'Cause
I'll,
Yeah.
I'll bring Joe to the house and we'll see.
No,
how
you're
it goes.
twitchy. You're twitchy.
Oh no! I can be real calm around animals. I'd be fine. Nope, nothing's scared of me. I'm
They'll
good.
think
I'm-
you're a
I'm really-
skinwalker.
Shut up. What I do like
Well,
are
the,
these-
the thing is too is it's not in it. It goes beyond just nervousness and stuff. If they sense just the fact that in their routine you are doing something new, like she
Mhm.
feeds them all the time, but when I go around to feed them, if I don't kind of put forth the dominance of, hey, you need, like, because one of them we have to put up by herself when we feed them, because the other two will try to eat the food, and there's just the pecking order. And anyway, they will take advantage of that if you're not up forth and in that same pattern sense of, no, this is not how this goes. And you have to, I've had to smack them a couple times on the side, not hard, but enough that they know, like, hey, don't, I know I'm not heard. Don't try your luck with me, kind of thing.
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
Gotcha.
horses are interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, they're awesome.
And I do like these fact files because this is where they kind of get a little more descriptive with weights, heights, eye color. Now, you guys will have to translate because I'm an idiot. I don't know what that is converted into inches. 173 meters. What is that for inches wise? Can somebody Google that? I'd be curious what that
He's
for
shorter
inches.
than me.
Feet and height. I mean, feet and inches. I'd be curious.
Also, he's only 69 kilograms. He's
I don't know what-
malnourished.
And I don't know what that is for weight either in pounds.
Oh.
Probably he probably weighs like Rebecca.
So what's his height?
Dang.
His Rio Blast height is 5'6".
He's 5'6".
Really?
Okay.
That
okay.
doesn't seem
All right.
right at all.
And his 69 kilograms, was it like 170? What the hell was that?
152. So I weigh the
Okay.
same as Rio Blast. That's good.
All right.
Wow.
So there you go. Rio Blast and eyes brown, hair brown. Group affiliation, the Heroic Warriors. Character profile.
Oh, there
Although
we go.
Although
Although
shorter
shorter.
than many of us. Hey, I can relate to this shit. Although shorter than many of his fellow heroic warriors, Rio Blast still packs quite a punch. At first glance, he appears normal, but at the slightest mental command, he is able to transform himself into a walking arsenal as lasers miraculously sprout from hidden cavities in his chest and wrists. Blasters spring from his knees, and with a simple flick of his head, he can command the awesome power of a photon cannon. For many years, Rio was the law in the Last Star Band, where he valiantly fought against injustice. However, before he was able to completely tame the wild frontier, he accidentally stumbled into a space warp and found himself stranded on Eternia, where he joined with He-Man in the battle against Hordak and Skeletor. However, he wants to return home, and He-Man has promised to do all he can to help him do just that. As well as being the fastest draw in the universe, Rio is a skilled mechanic, and he often repairs and modifies his own weapon systems. He has a short temper, and although this sometimes causes friction with the other heroes, he is always the first to apologize.
I'm
So-
sorry that I bit your fingers off.
I know, because it makes me think but I don't
I-
have a temper no more. I
Well,
have
I
no-
agree.
They called me Rio Two Wheels.
He takes his temper out on his food, as we saw him preparing it very aggressively.
I
God
could
damn it, what are you
see Rio Blast and Man at Arms not really getting along that well at first due to that last little paragraph.
Yeah, especially when
They're
like,
he
jealous.
makes my
They
own
mentions.
compare mustaches,
Especially-
and they're fighting over who has the best mustache.
No, especially when Steven Seagal gets brought up.
Yeah, that too.
I can
That
picture
too.
that. He probably would like to fix his own shit. He's like, no, I could do that, Duncan. No, I could do. Yeah, I could picture
Oh
that.
yeah,
And I
But-
and
Got a little
description of
mustache.
that
I can see that. That would be
With
interesting. though.
simple flick of his head, and he's got all these blasters pulling out from all these different places, but he's no Joe Amato.
That's right.
He
What's
then
on your
cavities.
pants there, by the way, Joe? That's what I was trying to figure out when you paused on. You froze on screen like that.
Oh, I froze.
I was like, "What's
I
on
don't
your
know what
pants?"
happened? Oh, okay. My pants is okay. Now we
My-
have
my
another. Now this
pants.
one.
Oh, you're not
Did,
gonna tell
um,
me? Was it eggs?
No, my pants had aliens on them. Those were
Okay.
aliens
I thought they were. Like...
from The Simpsons.
Oh,
Xenomorph.
okay. I couldn't tell what it was. It's
Oh, okay.
I thought it was
Stondar
like a poached egg.
Stondar weighs just slightly over 1,100 pounds.
He's
Now
fat.
No, I love that shit
He's
to
a
show.
fat ass.
And give his height. What is his height in feet and inches? He's a tall
Oh,
son of a bitch, ain't he?
He's a
6'9".
basketball player.
6'9". Nice.
Wait, that's
6'9"?
all. I thought he was like over.
6'9".
That's what 213 meters, only 6'9". I thought that was
Yeah.
really. I thought
Yeah.
he was like over 7 foot or something.
6'9", 1,100 pounds.
Yep, and his eyes are granite. Oh, go ahead, Ren. If you would read this one, read Stone Dar's.
Hair, none. Just like
We'll
Ren.
go with his eyes.
Bald and
Alright.
fat.
Stone Dar is a living rock creature, and he is the leader of an alien race known as the Comet People. His world was a peaceful planet, free from hunger and wars. At least it was until the evil horde arrived. Using an orbiting satellite known as an energy stealer, Hordak lays siege to the Comet world, threatening to destroy it and all its inhabitants. However, unknown to Hordak, Stone Dar and his people have the ability to transform themselves into living meteors. And in the mighty form, they were able to soar through the vacuum of space and destroy the evil satellite. After repelling Hordak's attack, Stone Dar swore an oath to battle against the evil horde anywhere in the universe.
Hell yeah.
Rock
And his eyes are granite. So, Nathan, do you want to do Rock On?
So he's
We have to
blind.
get his weight and height and all that shit too.
I mean, I won't read the thing, but let's see.
Oh.
What do we got? So 1.98, right? Is that what it said?
Yeah.
6'4". And
6'4".
Are they talking from the top of where the rock part is? you think?
Yeah, I don't know. And is this in their rock form or their person form? I'm guessing their person form.
Yeah, I'm gonna say. Yeah, I'd say. Yeah.
and 1,029 pounds. So
Oh, it's a little.
Jesus.
All right.
a little,
He's
little bit
also
smaller for
fat.
Rocco. And,
So
and,
he
and
is-
Joe, while you read this, I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
All right, his eyes are quartz, and his hair, he ain't got no hair either. His group affiliation, the Heroic Warriors. Character profile. Considerably younger than Stone Dar, Rockon exhibits all the rashness of youth. After hearing of his companions' vow to fight against the evil horde, it was he who convinced the Comet leader that they should both travel to Eternia. On reaching King Randor's beautiful world, the duo naturally joined the Heroic Warriors. And now they not only battle against the forces of Hordak, but also those of Skeletor and King Hiss. Like all Comet people, Rockon can travel through space while in his meteor form. He navigates by sonic waves and can fly at almost light speed. His outer shell is incredibly tough and can withstand many laser blasts. So
Sonic
like-
waves in space.
Is he the one that's got the satellite in his chest?
they both have it. Where
They
can
both
pop
have
that
one.
in there.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so I liked when I was reading this, I liked seeing that there was obviously weight descriptions and then their height and
Yeah, but they're
just-
fat.
They're the rocks, you dipshit. So that's why like reading this, and of course I know Duncan is sitting there just training or having fun, doing some fighting earlier in that one
By
story.
shooting at him.
Well, I know, but the thing is, that's why I thought. I was
What
like,
kind of
that's
friendship
triple.
is that?
Yeah,
Hey, let's
he can
practice.
take it.
He guns him down.
That's why I was like, how did he trip a 1,200-pound fucking? How did he sweep his leg like the fucking Karate Kid? I was thinking he couldn't have swept his leg, but it was just them playing at the beginning, having a little fun.
Playing.
Just
It was an
Yeah.
attempted murder.
shut up. But I like these, and for next time, like I said, I'll try to get other stories for another time we do it because there's a whole thing on the Snake Men too, about all of them.
Dang,
Yeah.
there's so
Every
much
one
in those
description.
books. I want to
Yeah,
just
there's
scroll
a-
up and read those.
They're really fun and they're big. That's what I mean. They're all over 60 pages. Each one of these books has
Dang.
at
They're
least
so big.
I mean, yeah.
How many
61
annuals are there? Though,
There was
total?
the 84. I think there's 7. Wait. The 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89. The 90 was the New Adventures. They had the 2 She-Ra ones. I think there's. Did I just say 6 or 7? I lost count, but I have them all. I
did you-
remember how misled. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. You were saying it started in '84, then, right? So
I think it was 84. Was it 83 or 84? I think it's 84 because it doesn't show the year on it. And I can't remember if 84 and 85 don't show years, but 86, 87, 88, 89, and 90 all do. I just can't remember if 84 and 85 both don't show. In the first one, you have all the annuals scanned. Oh, well, thanks, James. I appreciate it. James will just share the shit with us next time because
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
get
I'm
the whole
sitting-
thing now.
Yeah.
James, upload them to Google Drive, send them to me. I'll save
Yeah.
them on my because that was the biggest thing since the org has been down. My biggest thing was trying to
Yeah.
accumulate as much as I can of all this stuff, just so
and I
we
didn't
have
wanna
it as the
rip- 'cause-
resource.
because I'm almost assuming whoever did these, they took the fucking pages out to scan those to put up on the org. Because if I tried to put that in there, it'd be folding and ripping and shit like that. But thank you for that, James.
Yeah,
And I remember-
please. That would help a lot, because
Yeah.
even the next time we could cover a full one and maybe just skim across some of the other
Yeah.
text-based stories, and
that way we
sort
can start off with
pick
the
one.
first one, because
yeah,
I wanted to show that one, but I was like, I don't know why I went to 89, but we can start next time with 84, maybe
no,
go in order. or just pick-
I think that it's cool that we did that, because it shows in the UK this far out after it being pretty much over here in the US that the UK was still going strong with the property.
Yeah, they kept
Yeah.
it going. And there's a couple She-Ra ones, and the other one went to New Adventures for 90, if I'm not mistaken. I just know the first one that they released, it was kind of misleading to me when I was going online and I was looking for all sorts of He-Man books. Now that, oh my God, here's the internet. I can see shit from other countries. And when I seen the first one, I was like, this is a toy catalog? I didn't want to get it because on the front it's showing all the toys. I was like, I don't want to fucking look at the toys. And lo and behold, you find out it's an annual that has stories. And I was like, well, son of a bitch, I didn't know that. But yeah, so any of you guys, if you have questions in the chat right now, pop them in here. We'll get to some questions. I was gonna grab my stack just to show you. There's a nice stack of all
Don't
the
grab
books.
your
but-
stack.
Yeah,
Okay,
don't
shut
touch
up.
it. Dude. Leave it alone. We've
Keep your
seen
stack to yourself.
we've
man.
seen it enough.
Yeah, there's like I said, there are a lot of good stories. I'm just trying to think of one fucking story in particular I thought where there was like something translated different somewhere else, or a different fuck it, I'm not gonna even go. My head's like lost its
I mean,
fucking train of thought.
the biggest thing, the biggest takeaway from that is the fact that in these stories that they dig so much deeper into the mythology of the characters, so much so that it's very reminiscent of what you would get the shitty version of later on when Scott Nylick would do those classics bios.
Yeah, and
It's
like, I
interesting
know
that they played around with that as much as they did.
yeah,
They
I
didn't
know
have
it
to,
takes-
but they did.
Yeah, no, and yeah, what I like about it is, again, some of the stuff that was in the, what am I trying to fucking say, that guide? It was something that showed like all the characters had a
We
description in the
showed
United States.
Much, and now his brain is broken. So
No, I hate that I don't want to say style guide because it's not it's not style guide. I don't know the word I'm trying to say, but
Balls.
Bios?
fuck off. It's, what did you say, Rebecca?
Bios?
No, it's like a, god damn it, I can't say. But either way, it had all the characters and had a description of them, and they used those for the Wonder Bread trading cards, and that was the only place
Stats.
we at the time. What did you say?
Stats.
No,
Statistics.
I never saw the
word.
Wonder Bread things you're talking about. So I don't know.
Okay, well, the Wonder Bread cards, that had the art on the front, but on the back, it had more in depth about Rio Blast, Snout Spout, Extendar, Dragstore, the Eternia playset. They had really good descriptions, but they were never used for our stories here, for like the mini comics. And I was like, why are these having more of a description than the mini comics? And then
But
those
I want to know
descriptions.
how much Mattel had any say, or if they even cared about what was being written in the UK with these, or
Well, you know
like
what's-
the Wonder Bread things, or what.
I'm not sure, but they definitely expanded on that stuff. And I'm not, like, what I'm saying is, like, they didn't get their information from the Wonder Bread cards. They got it from whatever that.
is that what you're looking
that
for?
guy-
James says, Joe, it's officially known as Design and Illustration Guide for Licensees.
Okay, thank you, James. Thanks. Maybe that's there, because I know when I was saying whatever the fuck I was saying wasn't right. But so they used that obviously in the UK. But for me, being an outside observer, like if let's say before any of us knew that this shit was available to the public, I'm just going by what we know, what we had,
Yeah.
to actually read growing up, and then what they could have there. So,
Can we also appreciate when Joe was reading the story? I think that's the most amount of time in the history of the Fans of Power podcast that Joe said multiple sentences in a row without cursing.
I don't cuss no more. I'm good now. I haven't cussed
Yeah,
in
sure.
weeks.
What the hell?
So going to questions, our first question that we have here in the chat comes from Rem McKenzie. Why is Joe so nasty?
I don't know. I made that way. I am nasty. I am just fuck. I don't know.
It's like what Lady Gaga sang about, right?
Yeah, I
You
don't
were
know. I'm
you
a
were
unique
born
character.
that way.
Yeah, I guess that's
It's
it.
like
Born that way.
he was about to say, Lady Gaga. Who's Lady Gaga?
Yeah, he probably doesn't know. James replied here, Mattel oversaw all the
Ah.
UK stories, so
Okay.
that's good that they
So
gave
they
a thumbs up on elaborating more on other characters. I think one of the
Yeah.
coolest things about that was just talking about Extendar and Dragstore, and they
Yeah.
had a previous relationship, and
Yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah,
too, 'cause
yeah,
I had never heard of that at all.
yeah, I hadn't either, unless I missed something.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, it was.
Well,
that's
I mean, we had their story didn't go super in depth, but with the Warrior Machine, the mini comic, they were both turned in that story in that mini comic. But
I never read it.
Well, but I think we covered that before on here. I don't know if all of us covered it together, but sometime we will. But those, I feel like grabbing the Wonder Bread cards just to show you. They
Go
do
grab
have
'em.
good.
well. Before a question for you, Joe. This comes from Zentron.
Oh boy.
Are your meatballs salty or sweet?
Shut up. Oh god. No, I'm telling you, it's a family recipe.
Sweat.
Like I've been doing.
Needs to be another E there, and it'd be sweet.
No, they are very
Salty
good.
or sweet, Joe? Salty or sweet? You got to pick.
Yeah.
one.
Answer
They're
the question.
savory. They're savory.
Joe.
Sweet
Joe's
meatballs. I like
Joe's
sweet meatballs.
balls are savory. All right, Joe,
They-
go get
they're-
the
Yeah,
Wonder
yeah,
Bread.
you're
stuff.
go get my
supposed to
thing.
hold
They're
them
really
long in your mouth.
Centron once again falling victim to the autocorrect that allegedly
Yeah, sure.
that allegedly Fedmon fell to earlier on with the whole owning.
You gotta double read that stuff, man, before you say
Yeah,
it.
you got to proofread it yourself. You can't rely on these phones. Oliver Belmont, Ren, who would you join in a gunfight showdown? Rio Blast and Stridor or Brave Star in 30-30?
Brave Star and 30-30 all day.
Yeah,
There's
I would too,
no
honestly.
competition, man. No way.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it goes back to the whole thing with Rio Blast. And Tyler would always talk about this all the time, is just seeing Rio Blast in that Brave Star universe would be pretty badass too.
Yeah. I got a feeling that if they can get the licensing with the Rio Blast figure that just came out, they've got a couple of other ones that are in his mini comic, and I think they're gonna bring in some new characters, and with all of the other crossovers that Mattel is doing, they may bring some Brave Star. I'm hoping.
Yeah, we'll see.
It'd be
Hopefully
pretty
not
nice.
that stupid, shitty fucking Fox that they douche and showed me. They reused the same fucking head for this panel, then they flipped it in another panel. It's like, yeah, good fucking
Oh, is that
lazy
right?
art. Yeah,
I
they
need-
literally, it was bad.
I need to get the Marshall figure that Ramen Toys put out. I could just put on the shelf.
Is that a CD case?
This was for sports cards back in the day, and I've kept them in there ever since.
Nice.
That's
Yeah,
a good
but,
way to display those.
Yeah, and the
I
Wonder
thought
Bread
it was a
cards are.
CD case that used that.
Yeah,
That's
so
a
the
lot.
they have for Snout Spout, Slime Pit, but I will grab out in here. I have Dragstore and Extendar like right by each other.
Oh, those are cool.
But yeah,
are
they're
those
like I
scanned
said,
somewhere?
I could scan them, but so you got Dragstore, and then
Yes.
they
Oh,
have
yeah, I've seen
his
some of these before. Yeah.
they have his description and affiliation, and it does give.
Hold it
So
still.
those came with Wonder Bread.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Okay, I've seen some of those before. I just didn't know where they came from. I didn't know what they were.
yeah. So
Cool.
they would
Part
give
of it.
descriptions and like something of what happened, but then they went more in depth in other places. But you only got this from these cards, and they have one for They have for Rio Blast in there. They have a shit ton.
Hmm.
These
Where's,
are
How many-
Really,
Kilos?
Is that a complete set, Joe?
yeah, I'm trying to remember how many fucking 1, 2, 3,
Show me
Uh,
Kilos.
Tila?
Hurry up!
Hold on. God damn it! Quit yelling
Get
at me.
Tila out of there, Joe. What are you doing? Come on.
Wait, no, they got Evelyn. Where did you see Tila? They Tila? They got
Look
Hey,
under
no,
the
Joe,
I
T.
Joe
wanna
didn't know what's in the set. What is
Show
what
me
is
Evelyn.
okay.
Give me Evelyn.
Okay,
Okay.
Evelyn. Okay, let me. Well, it's art that we've seen before, but they just give more of a
Yeah.
description. But let me pull it out. Hold on. So there's
Awesome.
Evelyn. You recognize that art,
Yeah.
and then they have just a little
I love that
description for her on the back too. So
yeah, that's cool. I
How
like
so?
little trading cards.
Was this just one card per thing, or how many cards were together, or what was
you
the
only,
process?
if I'm not mistaken, I thought you just got one card per pack of for your Wonder
That's
Bread.
usually
Yeah, you
how
get
it
Wonder
was.
Bread.
Man,
yeah, there was just
that's
one in there.
Do,
I
do,
even
you
have
have
That's odd.
do you
Okay.
have do you have Yugoslav postcards in there?
No, but I think some of them did some weird shit. What do I have? I don't know. I got the Orko's Magic Trick thing. I got all those William Stout cards and the
Oh,
hollow cards for the movie.
I'm jealous. Those are cool.
Yeah,
Send
there's-
them.
there's
Oh,
lots.
those are nice.
Give it to me.
Re-
Yeah, they.
Rebel Wookie confirms it was a single card and a loaf of bread. Joe, do you remember where the card was placed within the loaf of bread? Was it
It was
just in the
underneath.
very?
Oh, I remember like it was yesterday. It was not on the top. It was literally underneath.
How many peanut butter
because
and
it was
jelly
flat.
sandwiches did you go through?
Oh, I would. No, oh shit. I mean, we'd
For
eat
your
like
mom to
crazy,
keep
but
buying 'em.
I guess
Tell me,
We used to do that with stuff because I forget what cereal brand it was. It had DC Comics.
what Rice
like little
Krispies
mini
had the
DC
puffy
comics in 'em.
stickers.
And
Oh, wait, what
we
did
were determined to get the Wonder Woman one, the Star Rider ones, and we did, and I was so happy. So I have it up there right now.
And
Little mini
what
comics.
cereal was that?
It was like honey. I don't even remember. It was like Honey O's or
Honeycomb?
something. Not Honey Nut
Hun-
Cheerios.
It's probably either
Honeycomb?
Honey Crisp
Honeygrams
or
or something.
Honeycombs or Honeygrams.
Yeah, they were little O shapes, and they had like the little granola in the middle of them. Went through so many of that.
Wait. There was something called.
I'm sure if I googled it, I would find.
Come
it.
on, Rand, you're
Wait.
supposed to know this stuff.
Wasn't there
Let's see.
O's
This is the
cereal,
90s.
Rebecca? Rebecca, was it
Uh,
O's? There was O's
It
cereal,
may have
and
been.
it was. Yeah, it was circled. It had clusters. It was so fucking
It
good.
was
and they got
for
rid
a
of
long
it.
time. That was the only place you could get that Wonder Woman and the Star Riders comic, and then finally in the early
I think I know
2000s they
what you're
released
talking
it.
Oh,
I
but I'm
remember
just like,
O's.
O's were fucking great, Ren. Oh my god,
They
when
were
they went away,
pretty
I was
good.
so fucking sad. I was like, damn, this cereal's good and just gone. I do
Yeah, I
remember it was, I
remember
think, a
those.
yellow box or
It
something.
was
and
a
then-
yellow box.
Yeah. And it
Joe-
just said O's. Yeah.
My next question in regards to the Wonder Bread
Mini
cards
buns.
and everything.
It was mini buns, cinnamon mini buns cereals.
Okay.
You said the cards were on the bottom. Were you able to just pick up a loaf of bread and see what
You
card
could
was
look,
in there?
I would try.
Okay.
I would try to. Yeah, you could try to look. But if I'm not mistaken, I think it wasn't. I don't think on Wonder Bread it was always see through. I thought. God damn! I thought. I don't know if it was a
So
barcode or if
you-
it was the coloring of it.
Well, yeah, you probably knew where the card was. You probably just used it to shift the card around to see enough of it to
Yeah,
know
yeah.
that you didn't
Like
have
look
it.
up vintage. You know what's weird is I even have a newspaper insert that advertised about the Wonder Bread trading cards, and it like did its mock-up art on it, and it had a coupon that said save like whatever 15 cents off a loaf of Wonder Bread, and I never used that
Holy
coupon because I didn't want to just.
Shit.
What's
No,
that?
no, sorry. Just to get a set of those cards is not cheap.
Ooh.
You know what's funny though? There's uncut sheets that I see constantly popping up on eBay and in groups. It's the whole set of Wonder Bread cards on an uncut sheet, and they'll pop up
Ooh.
a whole lot on eBay. Some like type in
That's
Wonder
Really?
Bread He-Man cards uncut sheet. See if that pops up in a search. I bet it's up there still. And if not, I bet one sold recently. Even if one's not up there, I'll guarantee you, if you go to advanced options, they would show one sold almost
Well,
recently.
this
That's always-
this isn't from eBay, but I'll just add this here.
Yeah.
Well, I should probably. Where did I save that? I'm confused. It's pink salmon. Show off.
And I really feel like the Wonder Bread wrapper too, I thought covered all over the bread except the bottom had little spaces to look. But yeah, it's a whole sheet. Yeah, it's all together, a complete set of them all. Just yeah.
That slime pit one's pretty badass.
Yep. And
Is
those are
it-
that's uncut.
Is this all of them though? This
yeah,
is the whole
that's
thing.
on that sheet. Yeah, that's the
this
whole
is it.
set that's on the sheet. Yep.
Wow. Because I figured there would be more, honestly.
No, that's.
But also,
that's it.
when you think too, so this is
15, or I mean,
yeah, 15. So
So did you? Sorry if I was searching for something while you were saying this, but did you buy all the bread yourself, or did you collect some of these later on?
No, that was all from childhood. If I didn't get them
Wow,
all, I know
that's
I
a
had to
lot
get
of
some from
bread.
friends. Well, I mean, the promotions would usually go on for a bit, and when you got some other siblings
That's cool that
and
you
your
got all of
parents.
them.
Yeah,
How did you know you
I
got
had-
all of them? Or did you just?
You know, I couldn't remember if it was on the
It
coupon.
probably
Oh.
says like collect all 15.
Yeah,
That's
it
true.
did.
That was the same with the
It
DC
did.
comics. It just
It
had
did
the
say
4
that.
on
It's-
there, like collect
Yep,
them all.
it said it. Yep, it
Yeah.
says it on the wrapper itself. Because if you Google, I know it's those. They have the Wonder Bread actual wrapper that it came in online. I thought I saved the image of it,
Okay,
and
that makes
beyond that,
sense.
it's on my coupon. I mean, so that's how I knew it was on that and the coupon. I got the coupon. Why do I keep pronouncing it so properly? But that's downstairs. I got
Coupons. Joe's got to go get the coupons.
That was a lot to collect too.
Yeah, I mean,
Normally,
50
like what I'm remembering was the DC ones, and there was like four comics to collect, so you didn't have to go crazy buying that cereal. Luckily, we were a big family. I come from a big family, so we go through stuff pretty fast anyway. So then we just fought over who got to keep the comic books.
I mean, much like I'm sure Joe went through his fair share of bread.
Yeah, I mean, Joe would probably eat enough as all
Yeah,
9 of us.
he's putting his bread in his spaghetti. He's making SpaghettiO sandwiches or something. Who knows? Wonder Bread.
What do you?
Well, no, Wonder Bread. I think too is even now to this day, Wonder Bread is one of the cheaper
Yeah.
breads to get. So it's kind of interesting that they decided to have that partnership and go that way. Usually, it tends to be the higher end, way more
Uncut
established
sheet's only
brands.
$80.
Oh, the uncut one's only $80. Damn. all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
80
Yes.
bucks. That's pretty
Yeah,
cheap.
yeah. Here's the hold on. I had a stack of other things. But,
Or best offer.
yep, it says 15 colorful things, but here's the coupon that you save. Yep, I was right with 15 cents. I have a good fucking memory. But
Mhm.
yep, collect all 15, and then they did their little concept kind of drawing of things. But
Yeah.
yeah, this is like
That's so cool that you have all that stuff from childhood.
Yeah, and
That's really
all
cool.
these are the 3 rare stories that I always tell you about. The comic stories. There's 3 of them. These
Yeah.
were around the time of the DC stuff. So it's
That's
3 exclusive
cool.
stories. And what the hell is this? How did I get this autograph? I can't remember. Something from Lou. Well, whatever, Lou Scheimer or something. And then
Something I don't know.
Still.
Oh, that's nice. Like that.
this is
Oh yeah, of
rare,
course Rebecca
too.
likes that.
This is a rare piece too. It's
That's sweet.
yeah.
Yeah, don't bother to scan it
Nice.
ever.
What
I
is that
know.
from?
Get all these
exactly?
rare things, Joe. What? Not to scare you, but like, what if your house caught fire? Like, you gotta scan this stuff.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
not
like
even right,
when
by
you
the way.
played with Thunderpunch He-Man.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta scan
Yeah,
this
let
stuff.
me
You
see.
gotta preserve it.
Protector of Castle Grayskull. You have the power, Lou Scheimer. So that's a nice
Oh,
little
nice.
thing.
That's
So
awesome.
cool.
That's a
So-
great picture, He-Man.
What did that fold out 87 movie thing like? Where is
You know
what is
what's-
that from?
I'm trying to
exactly?
fucking remember. I don't think this was from the magazine. I don't think this was from that one magazine because there's no.
Maybe it's
There's
from the
no-
theater.
Yeah,
Did you
because
just
it
tear it
doesn't
out
have.
of a normal magazine?
No. Because look. It doesn't have.
I wouldn't
staple
judge you if you
pumps.
did. I would do stuff like that. I'd be
Hey,
like, I
listen,
only
woman.
want this little Wonder Woman part or this
Woman,
Red Soldier part.
Listen to me, woman.
It's
There's
mine.
no staple. God damn it, Rebecca! I'm gonna
Wait.
punch you in
I'm
the
saying
throat.
I
No,
agree, I would do the same.
so that's probably
No
because
staples.
Joe hold it up a little
No
because it's got like the cast listing and stuff there. I
Yeah.
think that is promo stuff that studios would
Hmm.
send out to kind of what do they call
I
it?
How did
can't
you
remember
get
how
your
I got
grubby
it,
little
but
hands on it.
It would
But there's no
be
s-
it would
no
be
press
they would,
kits.
no it would be that and then it would be paired with a bunch of 8x10s like promotional
yeah,
stills.
they did.
So it's
They
just
did have
promo
those.
stuff.
Press kits.
Yeah. Yeah, they did have press kits because there are those
All right, Joe.
photos.
I'm gonna. Do you have a
Yeah.
scanner?
Joe
Do I have a
does
scanner? Yes, I do. What do you want,
Is this
Rebecca?
decent?
Yeah, I got a good scout. Damn it! It's not from the fucking 1980s. Yes,
no, I'm
why?
just saying. I'm gonna go to your house and scan all this shit.
Okay, you're gonna come over and scan. Okay, go
Yeah.
ahead. You can scan it.
I'm gonna
Just don't
take a
fuck
thumb
anything up.
drive with a whole ton of memory on it and just scan everything.
Okay, that's no problem. I get a lot
And
of
then
this
we'll start
scan.
our own. We'll start our own org.
Yeah.
Well, hey,
I
remember,
mean,
I do have I have
we
like
could.
all those stories that
We
I showed you.
could.
All those.
We should.
With the
There's
amount of
comic-
resources
We'll
that
call
we
it Fans
all
of Powers website.
It
okay.
could, but I
And
do
it'll
have
be
a
the
lot
new
of that
work
scanned.
2.0.
I do have a lot.
And it'll just be like, oh, hey guys, check out our new post for the week, and it's this again.
And I do have
I'm not gonna show that in
It's so aggressive.
so gross.
Yeah,
I
but
do have a lot-
JSP didn't see it.
all right. So, any other questions while I was rambling about all my shit?
John said it was probably a mini poster for a movie theater because they have a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably
just,
what it was.
yeah, just promo shit that they used to do, especially around that time. Fedmon had this question earlier. King Arthur and the Knights of Justice, Season 1, Episode 11, Darren's Key, features the horn slide pimp in the episode. In fact, is the focus of that episode, so maybe content for a future
I have
stream.
to check that out.
Wait, and if I'm not mistaken, didn't they release or were
Yeah,
gonna
for the
release
toy.
that in the toy
Yep.
line? Yeah, in the
Yep.
toy
Yeah,
line.
Yeah, we showed that.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we showed that off a few weeks
Yeah, this is
back,
sounding
or a couple
familiar
months
now.
back.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know it was in the episode. I'll have to check that out. All right.
yeah,
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
You said it was Fedmon?
yeah.
Looking, I mean, we need more. Send us more questions. Need more questions.
Yeah, if you got some more questions, hit us with some more before we wrap it up.
Awesome.
But yeah, I'm glad, James, though. Again, thanks for having
Yes.
that offer.
Send me
about-
those. Also, just a quick update for all you sports ball fans out there. It looks like the Eagles are up 37-6 with only 9:42 left in the fourth quarter. So there you go.
There you go.
Yeah,
There's
you're ready
plenty
for
of time for
Oh.
a comeback.
Right,
Taylor
and for
Swift's
James-
boyfriend may not get another ring.
Oh
And for-
no!
My
James,
son
yeah,
said that
I-
my son said that the script was leaked. It was leaked, and that
See some people say shit.
Kansas
Yeah,
City
yeah,
is
yeah.
supposed to win.
Oh no.
Well, I
You
guess
never
they
know.
flipped the script. They just card subject to change, Ren. Come on.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
James, I
well,
did send you that.
We'll
James
see.
was wondering if I sent me those comic strips years ago. I did a long time ago. I did. So they're all scanned, all those comics and everything.
Oh,
I don't-
well, then,
shit,
Joe,
somebody-
you
Where
need-
are they?
Send them to the rest of us, Joe. Or at least
Well,
send them to
I'll-
me so
Oh,
I
I
can
thought you
save
sent
them.
him like actual ones, like in the mail.
No, I scanned them. No, I didn't send them in the mail. You crazy?
Joe's not going
Send
to
me
pay
shit.
that postage, Rebecca. What are you talking
You
about?
think I give up childhood shit like that? These are rare pieces.
I thought maybe
These
you
still
had
have-
extras or something.
No, well, years later, I did find some other ones, and they're like slightly formatted, different, a little bit bigger, different colors. There's a
Oh.
contrast between the two. I'll show you sometime. We'll share it one time on the show. We'll even cover those. It's kind of
Okay.
interesting. They were out before the 3-part series came out from DC. These were out first. So it's an interesting cross between the mini comics and then going into the DC 3-part series that they had. It's weird. It's like I believe it's like a little lost piece of history. It's different because they're still not referring to Prince Adam in these. Prince Adam didn't exist in these, but he came up in the DC comics, as you know. But he didn't exist in these stories. So
I mean,
it's
if
and these
this
were
was
When were
done-
those? When were those?
and these
written?
were done by DC. DC did these too.
Interesting.
Then, well, then Adam does exist. It's just that, for
Well,
the
he
purpose
wasn't
of these
showing
strips.
this. Yeah.
Well,
Oh.
yeah,
there was-
because for the purpose of these strips was primarily to sell shit.
Promote. Yeah, and they even talked about like look for this and you could have a chance to appear in or have yourself drawn into like one of the DC comics. I don't know if they meant the upcoming Masters comic as a attorney in person or just some other random DC thing, but yeah, they're all dated and shit. So yeah, they're cool pieces, lost pieces of history.
That's cool.
They're
And
not
Joe-
lost if you have them.
And Joe's, like all
Sure.
these other, as Dushin can attest to, these assholes that sit on like G1 Transformers stuff. It's just Joe sitting here
No, I
squatting
shared
on all
these.
this thing.
I
shared
know.
Like a big old hobo.
Reckon, don't you
Yeah,
back him up? I
hobo.
shared this shit. I shared them back in the
Shameful.
org.
Shame.
I shared them on the org back
Shame.
in the day too. Everybody
Yeah,
what
and
the hell
this
you-
org now.
I know. Shut up. I'll give it. God damn it.
Oliver Belmont has a question. I'm gonna kick Dushin out of here for this one. So see you, Dushin. Oliver Belmont
Okay.
says, Nathan, any thoughts on the Fantastic Four First Steps teaser trailer? Yes. Tyler and I talked about this a little bit on Friday. It's the first Marvel film I'm actually excited about for in a while. The trailer very well done. I like that Herbie's in it. I love
Yep.
the design of the analog aesthetics on Herbie. Pedro Pascal having the mustache as Reed, I would prefer either like the stubble or clean shaven, but I love him, so it's fine. James and I were talking about this, and I agree with him on it, that the Thing needs to sound, he needs to have a little more grovel to his voice, but
Yeah,
I don't mind. I'm excited for it. And
me too. I thought it was good.
I kicked Dushin out because he would nitpick.
I can only imagine. You know he's gonna rip it. I didn't
I
see
like
the
the
preview,
60 setting. I think that's really charming.
Yes,
I even made that comment before I saw the trailer. I'm like, well, it'd be cool if it's set in the 60s. Before I even knew it was going to be that. I'm like,
and
I don't know why.
It's
just-
something
Have you
Tyler
watched the trailer, Joe?
I like the
No, I haven't
costumes.
seen
Joe
it.
I
doesn't
love that
watch
they're
trailers.
Me neither.
just
I haven't seen
unapologetic.
it either.
It's
Yeah,
they did a good job of avoiding what they've done so much in Marvel movie trailers in recent memory. Jokes not really anywhere at all to be
Mhm.
found in it. It is very straightforward. Here's the outlines esque of the story, some good teases along the way. And I'm excited for
I
it.
have-
So,
I have seen online that people are saying that the Thing is too short. The poster, he does look really short. Do you think there's a problem with that?
no,
I,
because
I think
No?
he's standing in the back of the poster.
Is he?
I think
can't.
I
tell.
don't know. That's what
no,
I thought.
because I mean,
I thought
even
he
it,
looked a little small, but I'm like, oh, he's standing in the back, him and Johnny. But I don't know if it's.
I mean, even if you
might
go
be
to
smaller.
when Fox had the property, Thing has always been he's been on the shorter side. So I don't have much problems with all that stuff. If they're making an attempt, much like it seems to be with the Daredevil Born Again series that's coming out on Disney Plus, it seems like they're kind of turning a corner on that whole thing. So
hopefully it'll be good, but I can only picture
I
right
hope
now
so.
Dushin is just grabbing his head and he's going nuts because he
I think it
probably
looks
hates
good.
it all. Well, let's see. Good,
I wanna see it.
Dushin. What do you
The-
think?
Yes, it's set in the 1960s, but it's pseudo 1960s.
I like that. I
But,
like that.
like,
It's
why
another
not-
universe entirely because in the 1960s.
Yeah, but again, the
it
original
wasn't
comics are
this.
from the 60s, so you have the legit 60s designs right there, and they're not going with that, except
Me-
for the Thing.
see,
The Thing looks spot on, but the voice is just rubbish. Like, it doesn't sound like a New Yorker at all.
I agree.
and-
The Thing's voice could have been better.
but that's
really,
also
like,
that's
the
also
universe-
just a tiny piece.
I know, no
Maybe the
film's
rest
gonna
of it's
be-
fine.
The
No film's
universe-
gonna be perfect. We almost. I'm just gonna be happy if it's halfway decent kind of thing.
Yeah,
Like
we
how
have to set the
Shane
bar a
Moon's
little
now.
bit lower, and it sucks to say that, but it's that's. the
I just
current
don't
climate
know
that
movie's
we're
gonna
in.
be perfect. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, so it's just like
Joe Sauce
I
is
I'm
scarf.
willing to forgive.
Nope, just
the Thing's
I felt a
voice.
crick.
Uh-oh.
Just trying to pull.
You're just having a heart attack, that's all.
No, I just felt a pop. I had to have a pop
You
there. It
okay?
felt like my shoulder got stiff. Yeah. It felt
Yeah, I
stiff
have
for a
an
second.
aneurysm.
No, I'm sure you guys have that where sometimes you move your body, you know something's gonna pop or crack, and I just felt
That's
weird in
old
the shoulder.
age, man.
Yeah, you ain't
Yeah,
shit.
So,
goddamn.
some of them don't know anything about that.
Yeah. They'll find out one day, Ren. They will find out
Yeah,
like you and I.
I was toweling my back off the other day, man, and my fucking neck. I pulled a muscle in my
See?
neck. It was there for 2 fucking days.
Dude,
This is
I
bullshit.
would sometimes if I have to, because I'm very careful about how I bend down to pick up things, because if I do it the wrong way in my back, it's just like, no, not today. So,
Oh, okay.
John
All
was saying here he's a test pilot and educated. His accent shouldn't be too thick, and yeah,
He's
so
a New Yorker.
yeah, but I have no notes on it. Other because the Marvel stuff has been the way that it's been, to just see that enough. I'm like, okay,
It's refreshing.
it's refreshing enough that I'm on board with, even if it's not as accurate as it should be. Just that alone, I'm down
But it's
for.
what gives him so much character.
I know.
It's
I
one
think
thing
it
like
is. Damn,
when you have like Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom is where you go. Yeah, he's educated, so he doesn't have much of an accent. But the thing is, like, a New Yorker.
giggling at,
Leave
giggly
that
boy?
be.
What are you
Well, you
giggling
giggle
at?
on that, you fake Italian spaghettios eating.
Hey,
motherfucker.
I'm just like this. No, I'm gonna tell
Hey,
you,
well, let me look. Hey, let me tell you
I
about
make
it.
really good meatballs. You guys are gonna see it this week.
No,
We
I
talked
don't.
about
We
Fantastic
don't
Four,
want
and
to
he's
see
like,
your balls,
"Listen, I make
Joe.
good meatballs.
Stop
I make
molesting
good
us.
Laughing at me.
I make good
laughing.
sweet and sour meatballs. They're delicious.
No, you,
I'm making the
They're my mom's
meatballs.
have you ever
meatballs.
had real Italian meatballs though?
Have you had real Italian meat in your mouth?
No, listen, I'm
No, I've
saying.
never dated
I
an Italian
make-
guy.
Okay, well, I make really good meatballs. It's a homemade recipe. I'm
Look at
telling you,
Randy.
they're the
He's
best.
thinking about it. He's like, yeah, there was this time 30 years ago. I remember it well.
Hey,
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
my first year in the army,
Ren saw
I
a
did a lot
huge
of
Italian
experimenting.
sausage.
I was on the beaches of Cancun. It was spring break, 1995.
no.
It's the only fake thing I indulge in is that goddamn spaghetti and meatballs. That's it. Otherwise,
Well, then
everything is
don't
fresh.
act snobby when we suggest a pizza, and you're like,
What do you
"That's
mean?
not real
Wait a
Italian
second.
pizza."
Wait, I gotta hear. When did I do this? Because you're being very specific. Did I do that?
Yeah, when we were like, "Let's get Domino's," and you're like, "It's not real Italian pizza."
Well, that is shit. Domino's and shit. So is Marco's. You gotta go to a
And I'm
fucking
like,
actual
"It's like the
Italian.
spaghetti eating chocolate, eating spaghettios."
No, listen, I'm just saying. When you get pizza, you get it from a real fucking Italian restaurant. That's a
I agree.
home. Like, what's that?
Sabaro, right?
I agree. The best pizza here is Mimo's.
See, so you got one. We
The
got
best
a
pizza
Geno's
is in New
pizza.
York.
You remember you tried my Geno's? You tried that, Rebecca?
I
Remember
didn't
you
like
and
that
John?
because it didn't have the
Oh.
crust. I like crust on.
Oh
pizza.
god damn it! You said you liked the taste. All right, we're gonna wrap this
It
shit
was
up.
okay. It just
It
I
was
like
okay, it
crust
was
on
great.
pizza. I like a nice handmade crust on pizza that you
Oh,
can
God.
eat like a breadstick after you're
Holy
done.
hell!
And there
Oh,
was
I-
no crust on that pizza.
One time, just
It was
right
just
there.
sauce and cheese.
Why?
And I'm like,
no,
Why?
it was
red.
good. It's good. Oh, she's a liar. It's the best sauce she ever had. Best crust, best cheese. I swear, right in her throat. Right in her fucking throat. All right. If you guys are new to this channel,
Wait, no,
Make sure-
Joe. Hey, Knights, you stop. Rebel Wookie. In regards talking about the Wonder Bread cards, Rebel Wookie asked who
Okay.
put out the iron-ons. I was thinking Lay's chips, but I don't remember.
well, there was the small fuzzy iron-ons. Like they had. How big is he talking about? The big ones or the little ones? Because remember, there was the little ones that, if I'm not mistaken, the cereals did the puffy stickers and iron-ons. And I know Rice Krispies did it. Whatever fucking other thing that were through them. But Rice Krispies, I know, did puffy stickers and the small iron-ons because I have those too. But I don't know if he means the big or little. Some of those bigger ones, I can't remember if those were.
They
where
they
the
were
fuck-
about 3 inches or so.
Yeah, about
Joe
3
would
inches.
know
Yeah,
a lot
those-
about that.
Yeah, no, mine's.
You
So
were
anyway,
saying before yours is short but thick. That's what you said earlier. You said
God
it's
damn
not that
it,
big.
No, mine's
So-
smaller.
Good Jesus Christ. So, anyways, those were through fucking. I think Rice Krispies did the iron-ons too. You can look them up. Wait a second. Why am I saying all this shit?
Why am I saying? I got them right here.
You have, I was about to ask. I'm
Oh
like,
my
I bet you
God,
have
alright.
those.
I have this
You have
special promotion.
everything.
I got this
Pinocchio?
promotional piece here
He's got
too.
the
I got the
special
Pinocchio.
Oh,
Wait, let me show you. I'm gonna pull it out.
Yeah,
I
let's
mean,
see your
remove
light.
it.
No.
pull it out.
Wait, who the fuck did this? Kellogg's. Yep, it was Kellogg's. So they did it, and yeah, here's all the nice. This was the
Oh,
thing
I
that
like
they
that
did
Orco
to
one.
advertise.
That Orco one is cool.
Yeah, and I got all these, and I got all the puffies and all that shit. But that's there you go. Damn, it was right there all along. I had to just yeah.
Do you have any
Okay,
of the
alright.
iron-ons?
Joe's so old he forgot.
I wonder if I got those in here because I separate so much shit, and I can't remember if I put some of my small things in here.
I just feel
Did
like
I
if you
have
had
any of-
that as a kid, you would go crazy trying to find the actual things too.
I had them, and
Well, what
I
about
think-
the one from eBay that you got?
oh, those are special. Those are special ones that were for a store when they were trying to advertise shit to the people that were making them. Oh, I thought I had it. Hold on. Yeah,
Good
I
night,
got some
James.
rare fucking shit. Yeah. Good night, James. God bless you. What am I talking about? I thought I had him in here. I guess I don't. Fuck. That's okay. That's all right. Okay. Yeah. Did you know that this is something that I brought up that a lot of people didn't know in regards to the She-Ra mini comic, her first issue, the one
Yes.
that was available. Okay, this one here.
Oh yeah,
This
I love
one
that
here,
picture.
which was
Yeah.
like in a Barbie magazine. It was in some other ones.
It
And
was on
this
a
is the one
book
that came
cover.
with. Yeah, and this is the one that you got with the figure. Now, there's something that a lot of people didn't know about this one in particular. The pages were out of order in a couple of them, and it's all of these compared to the actual one. We'll talk about that on an upcoming episode, because but yeah, they actually have the order of them, and they don't number them at the bottom. There are no numbers to the pages,
Interesting.
whereas the one that you got with the figure, if I'm not mistaken,
That one was probably
that
rushed
is-
out.
yeah, they actually fucked up the order of it, because I remember when that was, I think, how I first got my comic, was that one right there. But yeah, the actual one, if I'm not mistaken, right here, I think it's got numbers. Or yeah, it's got numbers at the bottom. See, or wait, sorry, right there. Oh, it's coming apart. But there, you can see
Did
numbers.
you pull the page
But-
apart, man? Don't do that.
No,
What
no,
was
no.
the-
This
On the other
It's-
one, Joe, what was the offer on the back? I saw something that said like mail this in for a free poster. Is it the poster art of the cover there?
You know what's weird is, and Rebecca, I never did for that. Do you own, or have you ever seen that
Oh
fucking
no, I
poster?
don't. I
Because I've
wish I
never
had that
seen it.
poster.
Oh man,
Never seen it.
11 by
Yeah.
17 too. Interesting.
Man,
Damn.
So wait,
I bet that's
so,
really rare if that pops up.
Yeah.
All that mail-in stuff is probably.
so did that
I've
come
never
out?
seen it up close. It almost looks like they painted over the toys, or that it's the toys cut out or something. I don't. I wish I could
And
see
what
it
were you
better.
saying, Dushin?
Did that come out
Sorry.
after the mini comic?
No,
Because
this
on the
was
cover you
first-
see the on the cover you see the final She-Ra, the Filmation version.
What'd you say? On what?
On the cover
one?
you see the
It's like a
Filmation
blend.
She-Ra.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
like it's
like a blend.
the near
Swift one's-
final.
Swift one's pink, like in the on the
Yeah,
toys,
yeah.
but- and
This is
her chest
yeah.
plate is gold, and the center part that's golden, and Filmation is white.
No, if this was in, I forgot what issue of, in a Barbie magazine. I think it was in a Muppets magazine. But
I
for
thought it
this
was
to
on the
get this,
cover of a storybook as well. I think that's what I thought. Maybe I'm mistaken, but I thought there's a commercial where a mom's reading it to her little girl.
I feel like I know what you're
I have to
talking
try
about.
and
I
find it
think
and
that
put it in
so I know what
the
you're talking about.
the Facebook page.
But this, if I'm not mistaken, was the first time you got the comic, and then I think
yeah,
you got this with the figure.
I'm guessing
So
that
this-
that one was like rushed, and that's why it's out of order and there's no numbers.
Yeah,
on
because
it.
it's out of order, and again, there's no numbers on the pages.
It was
That's what I was
probably
trying
put
to
with
say.
stuff to promote it, so that when people
Yeah.
went and bought the action figure, it came with the more.
Yeah, I can't remember
refined
that.
one.
I think Steve Martin is on the cover of the one Muppet magazine where this was in too. I think it was in a Muppet magazine that
That's
had Steve Martin on the
so
cover.
weird.
Yeah, and then there was a Barbie issue. I can't remember, but this said for obviously to get this poster, it said all requests must be postmarked by September 1st, 1985. So obviously the issue of whatever those magazines was before September. I'd have to look into that. I forgot, but it's in there somewhere, and it makes that issue even more expensive is if it has the mini comic, because a lot of people that have that issue that it came with, they took it out, so they don't have it. But everyone you'll ever see of this has the pages out of order in the two spots.
Interesting.
Joe just hitting
Yeah,
on
we're-
all this
and you know what?
rare stuff.
And and not to sound weird, this is one thing I've told everybody. Nobody's ever heard of that. When I mentioned it, I was like, yeah, that's out of order, and nobody's ever talked about it except me with the bizarre fucking rant. I'll show it. I'll
That's
scan it sometime. Yeah. All right.
Mhm.
Well, is that it
Yeah.
for questions?
I think so. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, that was a fun episode. And
Yeah.
if you guys are new to this channel, make sure you like, subscribe, share, and ring that bell so you can always be notified when we go live. And until next time, have a powerful day. I have no movie quote. Rebecca, hit us with one. You can do it.
My own brother, a goddamn shit sucking vampire.
Lost Boys.
Yep.
Yeah. See, I got one. I actually got one. God damn it. Look at that. I finally got a quote. That's a shocker.
Yeah.
Lost Boys is a great movie.
Yeah, it is.
So many good vampire films in the 80s.
Gosh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Random, yeah, sure, whatever.
No,
Right,
Lost
kind
Boys
of.
is one of my top 10.
Really?
Liar.
Last
See you
Boys
guys
is
next
like
time.
Wait, top 10 movies, period? We did this, right?
Period.
You talked about-
Yeah. Top 10
Wow.
movies, period.
Wow.
I think I named it.
Oh.
Yeah.
What about
See you
Steven
guys next
Seagal?
time. Piss off, Ren. Piss off, douche. God damn it, bastard.